Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. North American stock futures, little change heading into this 8:30 retail sales number that just came out. Actually down slightly month over month here, 1.3% for May retail sales versus negative 0.8% expected. So negative 1.8 or 1.3, I should say, versus negative 0.8 expected. We also got the PPI number out. The final month over month and year over year numbers look to be about in line with expectation on the inflation front. Coming off a positive start to the week for tech stocks, growth stocks as well. Moving back to the upside on Monday, the NASDAQ up about a full percent at the end of the day, which was great to see. We had both the S&P and NASDAQ closing at record highs, set to open this morning and kick things off again in that territory. Some reopening stocks showing some positive movement here in the pre-market this morning. Travel-related names back in positive territory. A couple of upgrades to discuss in the airline sector today. Crypto stocks on watch as well. Bitcoin holding nicely above 40,000 once again this morning. And as we mentioned, we'll watch the retailers off that retail sales number just out, again, down a little more than expected month over month. It's Tuesday, June 15th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. Yep, we're heading to the downside at this point following that number. Some negative reaction coming in here, but overall holding on to positive territory ever so slightly. You can see for most of North America here, crude oil back in positive territory, up about 0.5%. You can see there both Bitcoin and Ethereum in positive territory as well at this point to kick things off. So retail sales worse than expected, or down worse than expected, but not a blowout number either direction here, guys. 1.3 versus negative 1.3 versus negative 0.8 expected. That's the May retail sales number.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think everyone's probably concerned this week with the Fed starting meeting today, and then we'll see what comes tomorrow when it comes to the language with inflation. So I'm not sure this will be a huge market move. We were ticking down, but basically just flat on the ES and the NASDAQ as I'm sort of glancing over my shoulder here. And, we're in this chop zone. I'm pulling up the NASDAQ in particular because I think some of the concern is, are the Fed turning a blind eye to inflation? And that's what everyone's going to talk about here. Jumbo Tudor Jones was even saying that there could be the Fed could be sort of missing out and passing the buck when it comes to this inflation play. I kind of feel sort of the same way. This transitory nonsense doesn't make a ton of sense to me. If you can charge more, you're going to continue to charge more. So we're going to see what happens with that. I think there's going to be some safe names that are in play. And Caterpillar is down. I like Cleveland Cliffs. You guys know I like U.S. Steel. I think those are going to be in play going into the end of this week and possibly next week as well. And then you got the rebalancing coming through. There's a lot of names being added to the Russell, especially in the EV space. Some of them like your Fiskars, and some of them we haven't even talked about here. So there's a lot to get to. The memes are still moving. AMC's up 1.5%. Still within earshot of that $60 breakout, which, it was a failed break yesterday. I think today, we said in the afternoon show it could be today. So let's see if it can happen here, Sean.
Yeah, I put up a poll here today. If you guys want to go over and have a look here, it's only 140 votes. We just put it up. Which sector are you most concerned with heading into the summer? So some talk there. I didn't even put retail. Just financials, mega cap tech. We all know what that means. Industrials, which you just mentioned. There's some Caterpillar, some X, U.S. Steel there, Dow, things like that. And then the oil and energy sector. It looks like most people worried a little bit about mega cap tech here. Makes sense. And it's all just about the Fed, right? That's what we were talking about. Let's see what the Fed does this week. So we'll watch to see there. Go over here, vote. Tell me what you think. I don't know. I actually think it's going to be financials dragging down. We did see not a great day yesterday, obviously from JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and the like. We can just have a quick look at them. They were up to 165 or so. Oh, no, we have a bad wick there. Oh, no. Anyways, okay, we'll clean those up. But you see, we cruised to about 167, 168 there, highs. And then yesterday we closed 157. So you're down $10 in about 4 or 5 days here on some of the financials. So for my vote, would be with the financials. Let's check back at the end of summer. Well, we'll be here for a long time, but that's just for the summertime period. I don't mind Microsoft and Amazon and some of the mega cap tech. I'm actually surprised that's leading the way.
Yeah, positive day yesterday for a lot of those names that you mentioned there. So let's talk about this inflation data here real quick. I'll show you these numbers. So this is the final May numbers on the producer price side. So 6.3 expected, 6.6 on the year-over-year basis. The monthly number 0.6 comes out 0.8. So still a little bit higher than expected for both of those as well. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Miss V.
Good morning, guys. I wish you all the luck today. Please enjoy your trading and enjoy the show, and make sure you like this video. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Yeah, lots to get to before we get the market open here in under an hour, guys. I mean, we looked at retailers coming out of earnings, during the last earnings season, but we kind of got away from them a little bit there. Worth keeping an eye on some of these, I guess. I mean, there's been a month, better part of a month, I guess, in the U.S. where stores have been open. There's been some shopping going on, unlike here, where we just started over the weekend once again to get back into retail stores. But worth having a look at some of these.
Yeah, I mean, I like Foot Locker on the high side there. We know that Nike's been pretty strong. Foot Locker here, I mean, if these charts taking a little while to load. Look, only 200 shares today, so I'm not talking about maybe a day trade here. But Foot Locker right now is just hovering around the high. It's right at its 50 period moving average, which is $61. People are always looking to get those fresh kicks, right? So I think it's good. I think there's not that much China exposure. Obviously, a lot of their business is in the U.S., and you can see Foot Locker just riding this 50 period moving average all the way up, and we're right here. I don't think it's going to explode. Like, I don't think you're going to get, a crazy amount of movement off this. But even if you start itching towards the high, that's about 5, 6, 7% away. It's about 10% from the ultimate high. But just to get back into this area, 7 or 8% little bump from here. I think I like that name if there's anything in the retail section. And then I think also the big bad boy of them all, Walmart, can be bought at these levels as well. But I was just a little bit surprised at how poorly Walmart's doing. We did have a nice little bottom back in March, and then right now we're just like, as opposed to Foot Locker, which is almost near its high, Walmart still has a little ways to go to get there. But, these are the kind of names that I like right now, Walmart, Foot Locker. And then I don't know. I think I want to dip my toe a little bit into like Dollar Tree and things like that, but we'll have to wait. DLTR is a name that we like and I've liked for a bit. And there is some China exposure there as well with Dollar Tree. But, again, a beat down name that could possibly get back. I was looking at this over the weekend. You see these bottoms here, 97, 96, like, this is a good breakout spot. I'm actually glad we talked about this, Brendan. There's a little break spot here, upside, and then it's just kind of making a bottom here. So DLTR, Walmart, and Foot Locker are 3 names that I would look at for the retail side.
I want Walmart to pick back up, man. But Target's a chart that looks obviously a heck of a lot better. And again, not necessarily a day trade. It's not really moving anywhere. But I mean, just sitting right on those highs, you're basically a few dollars away from top. And there hasn't been much of a pullback since you got to go all the way back into early to mid-May when you got this pull into 200, and that was basically it here. Now, I still think there's going to be a chance to play this name if you believe in that whole, open talking about inflation and yada yada this and that. I think a good way to play this is like your Proctors and your J&J with actually when it comes to products. Someone with pricing power. I think that's going to be one of the keys there. But I think Target is a pretty solid name. I'm just looking for any kind of a dip to be able to be a buyer of this one, because I'm sitting in Walmart and it's kind of a disappointing name, and Target seems to have all the momentum. But it's the same thing with like the Nike and Foot Locker. Like Nike, okay, fair enough, but it's showing a lot of weakness as well. So I would probably lean in towards looking for a dip in Target. But I much prefer like your Proctors and your J&Js, just because I have this eerie feeling about the next couple of weeks going in some of those safer plays, and then maybe just waiting for some dips in these names.
All right, let's go to fan favorite here. Palantir popped up in the pre-market on a decent volume spike. Hasn't really done much since. We're just kind of consolidating here. They formed a strategic alliance, it looks like, with Origin Materials to work on zero carbon or decarbonization of the world's supply chain. Origin Materials going to deploy Palantir's Foundry technology as a part of this agreement. So another deal, doesn't talk about financials with this, but another deal, this one trying to help the environment, guys.
Yeah, Palantir's going to have lots of deals back and forth and around. There's a negative report here from, I'll talk about Palantir. I'm already long Palantir right now. That's a penny in the money, but we are going to go short DraftKings right now. Report comes out from Hindenburg right now. We talked about DraftKings. No surprise what they're doing here. DraftKings just had a monster move. We even talked about this on our show and when we were asked about this on our Q&A, and we talked about it going up to this 50-period moving average and then how big of a move that was. And then now today, unfortunately, if you didn't sell, like I did not either, now we have this problem. So we are now short DraftKings on this Hindenburg report, and for right now, we're not happy, but it's 70 cents in the money as it continues to go downside here. So let's see what happens right now, but we are short DraftKings, 47.73. I'm only going to give it back to 48.50. Like, I don't know if, I mean, that's already a big move. It was chilling at 51, so down to 47.30 here seems to be a decent move. So let's wait to see. But Palantir, yes, the story does not stop with Palantir. We love these little junior momentum tech stocks here. So let's just wait to see if we do test 24.50. I don't think so today. Not with this news. We're already long, and we're long all the way into 25. Let's see if 25 can be that support that we want it to be. So I'm loving Palantir. I don't need to show you a daily chart to tell you all about this one. We're long here at 18.50. We're long a hell of a lot down here, and we're long in here somewhere. But we have been selling in this area. We did sell a little bit up here, not nowhere near here, but in the 30s, and we sold some on the way up here because of where we were long. So we're now not selling anything on Palantir, and we're going to hold this for a bit. So Palantir to the upside. I love it. More contracts. Let's give us more Palantir. I think to the moon. I'm really, I mean, by the moon, I mean, I think we can get to 30 bucks maybe sooner than we think. So that's a good little level for us. Let's see if we get there soon.
And of course, coming into the Russell, right, that's another thing. A lot of names are going to be in rebalancing. I just want to quickly jump to DraftKings, go back in the 15-minute here to show you this little bottom. We had a big ramp from 45, had this low at 47.25, and then a bit of a higher low that was holding. That's 48.30. So inside of that target range, I think is where I want to play a bit of a pullback here. So I know Sean's already in. I'm looking at that, not 48.50, but like 48.30 would be that target range. But I like shorting when these try to pop back up, and it did already trade below that 47.25 area. And I think a chance to retest some of those levels could be a good one. I worry more about the rubber band effect on these things like day 2 and day 3 if they hold a low in today's action. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick look on the 15-minute to see some of these prices. That's why, you know, I'm eyeballing 48.30. I think it's splitting hairs between that and 48.50 as resistance.
Let's talk about crypto here a little bit. We had the decent move to start the day yesterday, if you remember. Got back above 40,000 for Bitcoin. We're holding still above 40,000 yesterday. Multiple positive catalysts behind that move. We put out a video late in the day yesterday regarding that move. So some of these stocks, though, guys, pretty much as flat as Bitcoin is this morning. Yes, we're above 40,000, but not really doing much. But I think overall, you know, it's positive for the group.
It definitely is. I just want to make a point here, because the last time there was a bit of a tank in Bitcoin, remember SI was actually holding up rather nicely, and I mentioned I was going to be selling some of this, and it got like 112s to get into some Coinbase, which is kind of moving but not moving. Kind of, it actually is up a little bit, but it's, you know, Silvergate, even when we're flat, it tends to move a little bit to the upside here. So it's got this weird like inverse thing which is going on, where it's sort of resisting some of the flushes and not benefiting from major spikes. And some of that has to do with the diversification. Some of it has to do with the Facebook launch, of course, and that little partnership there. So I kind of hope Coinbase, and just jumping from that over into Coinbase, I kind of hope this is a bit of a catalyst for Coinbase, which is finally, like, it got through that 232 on the daily that we're looking at last week, if this will load up. But we're still hanging out in the bottom cluster, and this cluster is that 250 level. Remember the reference price, 250, so we need to be retesting that level. I don't know if there's any, you know, that explosion I think everyone's waiting for is probably through 250. Probably going to take us breaking that 40,000 mark and then holding above it and making a bit of a ramp there. So these are some levels that we're not going to want to miss out on. It just feels like there's no follow through. Whenever we get a nice little move in Coinbase, the follow through in the next day just hasn't been there, and you can sort of see that with the exception of the first bounce off 250. So we'll be eyeballing Coinbase. Hopefully, if it dips down and then retests that 232 where it broke, there's nice support there, and then it can ramp up again, because I want to see us above that 250 so we can actually get more to active trading. Coinbase was great when it was making those moves down to 250, so volatile, and then it's basically been only barcoding below here since.
Yeah, I mean, this is yesterday's sticky note right here. You guys can look at that. We did have Coinbase. You can see, well, it's hard to see right here, 232. So that was yesterday. So you're welcome for that. It's $8 now in the money. And so, yeah, I like Coinbase, but I liked it better yesterday. That's why it was on the sticky note. For BTC, you know, 40,000's come and maybe gone. I don't know. I thought we would hold this a little bit better. I mean, we are holding it. It's at 40. I was expecting really to be at like 42, 43, something like that in here today. We're kind of, you know, picking at straws here. I mean, I don't know. You know, we could easily come back into this area again. I mean, you know, we saw Paul Tudor Jones yesterday, 350 million worth of Bitcoin. You know, if more people follow, of course, it'll cause a little bit of a buy side here. But like AMC, like how many Bitcoins are being held by kind of retail traders that don't even want to sell their Bitcoins? And then, of course, eventually it's going to get mined, and then there's going to be no more Bitcoin. So I wonder what happens when and if we ever get to that level. But for right now, between 30 and 40 seems safe. It's not really moving. So hard to be super excited about a lot of these crypto names right now. I prefer Cardano, which we've talked about over and over again. Here's the Cardano chart, 167. This is Matic. That's Polygon. Someone was talking about that on the chat as well. Here's my favorite is Cardano. So let's just refresh this for a daily chart, and we'll get a quick look at here. You know, again, these are kind of like Ethereum 2.0. So, you know, they're going to be building smart contracts. They're getting a bunch of contracts, and it's just struggling right here as well. But the thing about a lot of these names, they've now come up with some support. So a lot of these kind of Polygon, Matic, even Dogecoin has found some support at about 30 cents or so, 31, 32 cents. So I'm just really surprised a lot of these coins are holding up. So I'm very excited to see that there's possibly another bull run coming when you have a lot of this consolidation and not movements lower here. It could go either way. It's just I'm pretty bullish for crypto. So I like a lot of this consolidation that we're seeing. Also the same thing in this Matic as well. Same thing happening here with consolidation. I don't know why this chart's not loading that great here, but there's a lot of consolidation happening with a lot of these names. So I think Bitcoin and crypto market is about to go for a little bit of a run. I know that goes against, you know, what everyone talks about with the crypto winters and things like that. But, you know, I already called Bitcoin, I think gets to 80,000 or so by December. And if that does happen, then you're going to see a lot of these other names obviously rock and roll with it.
All right, just reading a couple of quotes from this report on DraftKings, still kind of floating around here around 47.50, guys, down 6%. I can show you. So one of them, so they're basically saying that the company systematically skirted the law and taken elaborate steps to obfuscate its black market operations. So over here is where they actually confirm they are indeed short in the stock. So those are pretty tough words, guys.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, the guy must be against, I mean, these guys must be against gambling or something. I mean, obviously there is an official marketplace for DraftKings. There are a lot of, not just provinces here in Ontario, but obviously states there in the US, which is going to be their biggest market. And I don't know, I mean, I see sponsorships all over the place. We were watching the fights last couple of weekends. We see on golf, which is coming up this weekend with the US Open. You know, there's lots happening in DraftKings land. And I just look at it like another 6% down. Sure, it's a short seller report. We don't like those. If you're long, that's obvious. But again, it's about reading through it there, Brendan. And I mean, I don't know that much of what they're saying. I just wonder if we do come back into this little area of concern, which sucks, because I am long DraftKings, and this is not a great headline for us. But we'll just see what happens here. I mean, I'm short temporarily here. I'll probably get blown out. It doesn't seem like the market is reacting too much to this report. But yeah, we could come back into the low 40s. And I don't know. I'll have to read the report, see what they're doing. But you know, the SPACs have been a complete disaster. So if we're going to talk about them, I think that that's probably true. There was obviously some skirting around the rules of IPOs and not being eligible to IPO, not meeting IPO criteria. A lot of these names, therefore, they went into the SPAC route. And yeah, DraftKings was a very, very successful SPAC. There's no doubt about that. When it came out, you know, we've already touched 74. We've already found some nice bases here. It's made some nice moves. There's nice volume behind it. And yeah, if you're long at 20 bucks, then you're even, I don't even know where this name became public, to be honest with you, when it switched over to DKNG. But the point is, you're probably in the money still, so let's wait to see where this goes. And I take everything with a grain of salt, but we are short this name, and I don't really see any sort of a bottom until Honestly, man, like 45 maybe we get down there today. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to go.
45 to 45.50 is the first area that makes any sense to me. Look, obviously, look, one of the things we talk about, we're day trading here, and one of the things we always talk about with these short seller reports is, you've already made a bit of a move down and a bit of a technical break as well. So doing so into some momentum in their favor, and then you really are concerned with, do you hold the next obvious level to the downside? So I mean, if we test 45 today, bounce off that gap up, and hold that tomorrow, I think that bodes well for the stock. I mean, when you talk about the SPACs, there's a ton of these bad boys, a ton of these that are heading into indexes this week. So sort of, like you say, take it with a grain of salt, but this is not necessarily, like Nikola or one of these other types of reports here. DraftKings, I think, and most people would agree, is a little bit more stable of a company. I think that's why you'll probably find a better floor in this name in the next couple of days than you will in some of the other previously heavy shorted names, Brennan.
All right, let's go to upgrades and downgrades so far this morning. A few of noteworthy. Spirit Airlines, SAVE, one that we've looked at many times on the show, to the upside this morning, kind of leading as far as volume is concerned as well in the airline group in the pre-market here. So a nice look for Spirit. Novavax on here, Union Pacific, Nutrien over here, Fastenal as well to the downside in this principle as well. Just trying to get back to positive actually right now, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Spirit's actually done a decent amount of volume. It's only up like 3.5%, but you're seeing this little consolidation just trying to break back up here, and it's starting to form like a pretty tight wedge in the daily chart. It's trying to get above that 50 period. So the momentum has slowly drained away from some of these names, and maybe we'll talk about a bit about that relative weakness. You are seeing a bit of a downtrend in some of the airlines here, so a failure to get back above that, that 36 level when you get a restatement like this is probably not going to bode well in the short term, obviously. And I think a lot of this reopen and travel coming back in, a lot of that's been priced in at this point. So it's tricky to say, when you can get to these highs. This market does seem to set up like it wants to head back in, not head back in, but bounce off of some of those highs. So I look for those stocks that have already made those failures. I'd love to see Spirit get above 36. I think it was a great play on the way up, and it was one of the ones that was favored. I'm just not necessarily seeing it. Could get more interesting into the next couple of weeks, though, if it does creep back above, and then you get a break of like this 37.20, then maybe you're headed into that 40 range. But for now, you almost want to see it go and then join the party.
Yeah, I like the Spirit Airlines call. I also, on the sticky note right now at the bottom there, we have CCL. So, and also Palantir is highlighted there. But CCL, I like the 2865. So if you guys want it, you can find the sticky note up on Twitter. We always talk about it, but we always have new people. So I'll just post it up here right now. I would have loved to have DraftKings there, but we are, of course, short DraftKings right now. So you guys can know that. 2865 yesterday right here. So we'll see if CCL can hold. I don't think it will. We're now at $1.13 now. Hit the movements here, the backflips there for you, Tio Moyer. 2865 now on the downside for CCL. I like it. It's been broken a little bit here. Shout out to Daryl. We're talking about this name. He likes to trade it. So wondering what his levels are on this one as well. But 2870 looks like we could break. I just feel like CCL is the one to target for me today on the downside. We've already tipped off pretty high here at 3150. It looks like we're trying to make some moves down. We have yesterday's protected level there of 2865. I actually meant to put on volume here, so I'll do that for you. Again, I don't know if you guys remember, but my charts crashed yesterday, so we're just going to put on volume. I think that's something that you guys, everybody should do, at least on your minute chart. That's helped me a little bit, see some key levels, especially blowout levels and whatnot. So I put that up here just to see. You get some big, obviously, market on close orders, so we don't look at that volume, but then look at the volume right here. Good to see this right at these bottoms. So we'll see what happens at 2865 right now. And then DraftKings, man, I mean, like I said, I don't really have a target for the down. I mean, I do have a target for the downside. It's like 45. So we just touched 46.50, which would have put us in, well, it did put us in $1.25. I think we can get that if we want it, but I'm going to wait for a little bit lower on DraftKings. And then the only other position right now that we have is Palantir bidding. Yeah, I was bidding 11s, didn't get filled down there. So only went to 12 or 13. So we'll take some Palantir long. Well, we're not going to get into this position huge right now, but if it does come down into 25-ish area, we'll be a hell of a lot longer than we are right now. So just to give you that update. And then Palantir, yesterday's bottom was 25.50. Why not give it a chance to get there again? If the market does pull back, we'll give Palantir that chance.
All right, let's jump into what is moving around in the pre-market this morning. If you haven't done so yet, head over to that link and register for the absolutely free morning note that we send out every single morning. Has everything you need to know heading into the session. Come and join us then at 8:30 every single morning Eastern, and we go over all the stocks that are moving around in the pre-market and how to approach trading those when the market opens at 9:30. Let's talk about AMC here first, guys. We saw an impressive move again on Monday, impressive volume come back into this stock after it kind of shifted to others at the end of last week, if you remember. But there was that note. I mean, Sean, you kind of mentioned this to kick things off. 80%, an SEC filing showed 80% of this float is now owned by retail traders.
Yeah.
That was as of a few days ago. So
Yeah, that's So who knows how high it is now? That's just a scary thought for AMC shorters, in my opinion. I mean, I don't think the short squeeze has even started yet. So that's if everyone's holding their shares, then there's nobody to sell. This is exactly the perfect storm for everybody that's long AMC. I think people saying drop the hammer on AMC. I think it could just drop itself, man. I don't need to be here with it. I think this 59.50 is going to break, and then we can start to go long. I tweeted out to watch 60 level. I also tweeted out that we're going to wait to see if it comes back to 56 down here for some support, like there was yesterday. Big volume spike on that day high move yesterday up to 60. I think we could do it again. This level is 59.25. That's where I'm going to get long in the pre-market off this break. So there's lots of stuff happening right now with AMC, and let's just buckle up, man. The more this name gets attention, the more I think it's better for everybody that's long. It's holding up incredibly well right now, and I'm just really, not only am I surprised that it's holding up, but we're now going to take out highs again. So, I mean, I don't know if we're going to be at 75 today, but if we take out to 60, 50 or so, then I think we can see 70, believe it or not. So let's see. I'm on the record right now. I don't even think the short squeeze has started. So let's get ready to rock and roll here with AMC, guys. Hold your shares. I think this could be a big day.
Well, I would certainly say it started. That number tells you all you need to know about where it can definitely go. The only differences I have here, I think the potential, and if it does do a dip, we like dip buys as evidenced by yesterday. I think if it does do a little bit of a dip, it did wick down to like 55.50, which was a breakout sort of a level here if you want to go back in as well. So we'll go back into 10 o'clock, and it broke to 55.50 and then pulled back in, then you get that top there. So I'm giving it a little bit deeper on a pullback. I think I want to be in that 56 range, but you're giving it closer to that 55 mark or 55 and a half. It's about to break 59. That afternoon high, I don't necessarily love it as much. I'll probably lean into, like right now, the pre-market high is 58.86. I'll be looking at 59 even, and then from there, 60. So that's two separate sort of breakout style trades. I know 60 was a failed break in yesterday's action, but I just feel like the fact that we're holding the immediate support level pre-market and then just coming right back in and testing it. So I'll take it the second time through. I'd probably take it the third time through as well. 60 is a big one. From there, like 69 is the next obvious level on the 15-minute chart, guys. So you sort of look at this, and I think AMC's got some serious runway, especially after this whole AMC day yesterday. I guess AMC day could be today as well if we break 60.
Yeah, hard to avoid the volume, hard to avoid the opportunities that stock has given us continually. Arun is in the building today. You get a special treat today. We're going to go to Arun and get his take on what to expect coming up today. Arun, are we concerned about that number at 8:30 at all?
Well, I mean, you're going to have to wait until the open, right? Until it's been fully digested, and we'll see how it plays off at the open. But every time we break to new highs, it seems like we're having trouble moving. We broke through 40, we came back down. That was yesterday. And then today we broke through 50, and it seems like we're struggling again above 50. So I'm going to wait to see how we play underneath 45. I know we're sitting at 47.25 right now. If we can come back down a little bit more, get into the 45 area and find some support, I might go for the shot on the long side with 35 as your stop, so 42.35 on the stop, if we can get to the downside. Now, this could fall right back down because towards the end of the day yesterday, the market moved from 30 to about 50, 20 points in about half an hour. And there was no levels declared throughout that entire move. So that creates a vacuum if you break through any support. So I'm going to keep an eye on how much volume is coming to the sell side as we move through this 45. If it decides to go to the downside, it could really accelerate quite quickly. So to the downside, we do have 42.20. We have 42.45. We can find some support. It's not a level. It's just an area I want to play with if we can catch a long. And then, of course, 42.35 if the long is in play. And then if we break out to the upside, which seems to be closer to 60, Again, the way the market's been moving, I would hesitate to take the upside break immediately. We do have the Fed tomorrow, and then we have the imbalance, as Neil mentioned, or not the imbalance, the rebalance, the massive rebalance that's happening on Friday. So there's a lot of headline risk. There's not really headline risk, but there's volatility events happening throughout the week. Wait for those moments, because it seems to be that the market's fairly quiet until we get some reason to go, and yet we have not yet found one. So keep an eye on this 45 area. If we catch a bid, we can go for a long maybe with 35 as your stop. If you break 20, you have the short potential. If we break to the upside, just be careful if you decide to go long.
Possibly tomorrow might be that catalyst when we get that Fed announcement and statement to come with it. Let's continue along with what's moving in the pre-market here, guys. We'll move off to Context Logic, Wish, popping back up on the volume scanners this morning in the pre-market, doing more than yesterday. In fact, there's really no significant news again today, but worth a look at Wish here, guys. They announced that press to shop deal yesterday, which ignited a bit of a rally.
Yeah, and so our positions from yesterday sometimes will show up on the charts there, but if you refresh, sometimes they'll go away. But I can tell you, I did short Wish yesterday, and did not work out. Thankfully, we didn't actually dig into it, but on this pop at around 10:30, I was shorting off this 1080 level. You can see, I'll zoom in a little bit. You can see there was some like muted pullback, so I was able to take a little bit out, and then you did get that eventual break. I didn't fight it in the afternoon. There's just absolutely no way I'm going to do that. But you're again gapping to the upside here, and I'm going to swap on over to the 50 period, just so you can see it's breaking back above like 1150 and then this previous consolidation low, this 1175. So like weirdly enough, it pains me to say this, there's actually some substance, well not some substance, but some clear like areas of acceptance, I think, in the price. I would say below $11 in that 1080, and that's the only reason I went back in yesterday. Below those prices, I think that's when I would start thinking about, okay, it's starting to fail down there. Otherwise, you know, it would be that test of where it really fell, that 15 even. And if you think that's where you'd want to be short again, or below that level here, it does set up for a bit of a bounce play in today's action. I mean, I prefer the breakout here, and of course I went up to go to the bathroom and didn't get the break on AMC. Let's see if I can get back into this one. There we go. Missed it on the first time, but I'll just throw a bit in there and get 04s there because I did not have my stop when I had to get up. But I think I prefer the breakout, like I said, in something like an AMC, and I'm looking at that, and I'm also looking at that Corsair as well. So I don't know if I like a 1220 break necessarily. I think 1270 does stand out. There's a bit of a chop zone there that you might get, so 1220 to 1275 could be some chop. I would look at a pullback off that 1080 to 11 area. I think if Wish were to hold that, it would be a decent sign, and you can maybe buy a bit of a dip there. But you know, below those prices, that's where I would be backed into just sort of blindly shorting, not blindly shorting, but shorting Context Logic here. Otherwise, maybe just wait for the pop and be patient. I obviously started too early yesterday's action and should have waited for more of a top before I got into it. 10 o'clock was too early. I'd rather see it shoot and then make a play after it's done so, and I can find a better turn.
Just tweeting this out, man. We still are short DraftKings here, so let's see if this where this wants to go. Nicely in the money, man. We told you guys about a spot that we like. It's now $1.70 in the money and still going down. DraftKings down that 9 in a bit. You see, I take the trade as basically as soon as I see it, and we are going to the downside rate now, multiple dollars here. So $1.77 now in the money and still making moves here on DKNG. Look, I already put it in. I like the breakout long on Wish here at 1220. So we're just going to take that. I think it's, you know, it's only, what is it? I wrote down the percentage short. It's only 17. It's not huge. Wish 5 million shares is pretty nice. Let's just see what happens. I mean, if it hovers around here, then I'm pretty sure we like the breakout. Well, I like the breakout through 1220 there. So again, you know, I'm not going to average into this short. I'm not going to do anything on a short side. I don't know. I don't really like any levels here short right now on it. So I'm just going to wait to play the long and then really just deal with this DraftKings position, which is now a monster. $2 in the money, no outs yet. We'll wait to see how far this thing can fall. Unfortunately, I do have a bid at 44, guys.
I'm actually a little surprised by that. I thought it would have been higher on the short side. Speaking of Corsair, guys, let's go to CRSR. Popped up yesterday for the first time after being mentioned numerous times on Friday on Wall Street Bets and Stock Twits. So Corsair, I mean, big move initially, but you know, we kind of came all the way back late in the day.
All the way back is actually exactly right, because you look at, this is like 7 a.m., right? It actually already pumped at 6 o'clock from 35 to 39.5, then right back to 35.50, let's call it, 35.75, and then right here in the aftermarket, it bottomed out at 35.75. So you call that area, let's call it 35.50 to about 36, and we're right back at that little bottom. Now, when I came in today, I was sort of, on the heels of this move at 7 o'clock, where it did a bit of a sell-off at 7 and the retail came in, and then was immediately retesting at 37.50. This was the point at which I was like, okay, it makes this little move up. Then you're looking at a break, a 2-day break here on Corsair. Keeping in mind, of course, on the daily chart that this was a pretty stable company in terms of at least the price action. So you would think that there was a bit of a floor at 33 on this name, given this consolidation here, and maybe even so at the top end of this cluster, and that is that 35.50 mark. So all those reasons pointed to a breakout. We're now right off of that low. It's 35.50. Maybe you extend that into 35 even. I think that's where you defend. From there, 33 on the 50 period probably is worth a bit of a dip buy. But I'm not going to have a 37.50 break sitting at the open when it would have to run $2, and then you could be potentially punching the high off of like a 15, 20 minute move. Now, I still like that idea if it finds a bottom here, but I would certainly not necessarily want that at 9:30. Given how violent a move up it would have to be going into that 37.50 break. So I literally just canceled my stop bid at 37.50, and I'm going to look for that 35.50 area to be a bit of a bounce off the open if I can catch it. AMC broke, held above. I got 04s long. It's literally at 58.99, and I've covered my DraftKings position. So immediately one of the first things I do, and sometimes it costs you a shot in the trade, is try to find some quick levels in there. And when I go to the higher time frame, I just look at that cluster here, and this is 45.50 at the top end of this range. Just thinking maybe there'd be a bounce. I got out 45.77, so it's just over $2 in the second half, but I did take some out a little bit earlier inside of this range here in front of that 47.25 area, and that was the other price that we mentioned when we look at that 15-minute chart for possible support. So it continues to flush. If there's no bid at 45, I will be, I'm not going to be surprised, but because we short sell reports, they can go as far as they want to go. But I did think there'd be some bounce in DraftKings, thinking they'd fare a little bit better on day one of their short seller report. Hopefully it holds 45, but for your sake of your short, Sean, it's a day trade. It is what it is. I shouldn't be betting against the stock for the short just because I happen to have it.
Yeah, no, my level is 40. I mean, I'm $1 lower than this. So right now we're $2.20 in the money. We haven't taken any out, and I'm going to wait a little bit lower to get that 44.50. Let's see if it happens. I mean, big call there. We'll see. Okay, we also got more into Palantir average price now, 25.30. I like this break here on Corsair, 37.25, 37.50. It's one of the only names that we have on, not one of the only names, we have 5 or 6 names on our sticky note here. And, let's just wait to see. It's down today. And, you look at these levels, and obviously that was a big move yesterday. Some of these Reddit-fueled moves, we've seen them with Wendy's not last. We saw with Corsair yesterday not last as well. And then now you come back today into the levels where it probably should be. Forget about all these bottom picks here. But again, this is a name that's, again, a high growth stock. So, maybe we do deserve a little bit of a break, but probably the real price is right around here, like 35, 35.30. So I think that you could probably catch some levels down in. So we'll wait to see where that goes. If we like the long, I mean, anything back to 32 is a no-brainer because that's where we started this. I mean, even this 50 period, 33, 34, those are no-brainer longs as well. So we'll see if that comes through. But if the market really gets going and for some reason the Reddit-fueled hype is back on Corsair, I love the 37.50 break because those were the highs so far today in the pre-market, and then we did have some consolidation between 37.50 and 38. We had this 38 break yesterday, guys, in the afternoon. So we were long. It's too bad it doesn't show the trades. We were long right here into this. So we had this break upside. So that was a good one. So we'll see if we can't rinse and repeat this again. If it doesn't happen early, maybe it happens late, but I still like this 37.50 break. I'm going to keep the order in there and not put it anywhere else but live. So hopefully 37.50 comes through soon.
Let's talk about some EV news, NIO related, but not specifically NIO related. But I keep seeing this UXIN popping up on a volume scanner. It's doing a decent amount of volume here. In the pre-market, this thing has been on a bit of a tear, to say the least, on the daily time frame. So they secured $350 million in new financing. So this is a online Chinese e-commerce site that specializes in selling used cars, but also provides loans to people who want to buy a car. So, so $350 million in financing. Neo Capital and Joy Capital among those getting in on this, providing this financing. So, I mean, like I said, not really Neo specific guys, but a little bit of EV related news here.
Yeah, Neo related for sure, but the chart on UXIN, the daily, is sort of telling the story. I mean, it's obviously pretty impressive here, but I sort of look at how this is being treated in the pre-market. You get the hard gap up, and now you're holding this, and ignore these wicks. We're really talking about 575 because on this first move to the upside, you did have a stall here at 75. You did have a true bottom here at 575, and then again now at about 580. So it's trying to hold up, but each bounce is a little bit more shallow. If that holds true, you got to watch out for like that 575 breakout. And if this stock is, if you were talking day one here, if this stock was sort of off a consolidation like this and you're making another move, maybe I would be thinking only longs. But UXIN up at these prices after these moves, I think it is worthwhile for a shot at a short. Now, sure, there's going to be maybe a 575 breakdown idea, but also popping in at the open like a 930, failing at that 620, 625. They can't get through that price area, and then you're working into a short off of like 60 even, or maybe just in front of that with your stop up there at that 25, 30 range. That would be a decent setup here for UXIN. The volume's pretty good. The chart's got multi-day move to the upside potential there, and you get some financing, which at the crust, sort of pop it up, and then it's selling off mostly in the pre-market. So it does set up for that 930 rollover type play that I like. So it'll be on my board. AMC now down to 58.70. So it's interesting because the first level for a dip buy for me here would be at like 58.20. So you're not going to see me adding to this position probably until like 930, or unless it drops another 40 or 50 cents.
Okay, so we're into AMC right now so that's the new position alert siren. If you ever hear that on the show, it means I got a new position, and 58.70. So we're into AMC right now. It's actually, we have 71s. We're gonna be buying this into this dip too. So we'll wait for that. Palantir, DraftKings, and AMC all on watch. We put Neo on here to watch 45.50. So we'll see. It's gonna come back in. We do wanna get some bits. I was gonna say maybe my trade's loaded up for. Oh yeah, okay. So here's the dip buy yesterday. So for some reason my shorts or my trade's showing up here.
Nice.
Here's some dip buys in Neo. We let it rip all the way up. We missed that 45.50 yesterday. That's that bottom. Then it rips up, a nice little win there. We let it drop again, and then a nice win there, and then the final out right there at the end of the show. So good trading here on Neo today. Yesterday for sure. Those are dip buys. I mean, we made some nice. Where's the register? There it is. We rang that yesterday. We'll see if we can't do it again today, down to 45.50, sorry, on NIO. So that's a position for me. AMC bouncing around. DraftKings still at that low here. We did touch 45.45 there. So we'll see where it goes from here. But DraftKings still $2 in the money. AMC now 15 cents in the, or sorry, was 15 cents, now 16 cents in the money. I don't know, this is just dancing around here. I don't know why it says 16 cents. Oh, I guess taking into consideration some of these prices there. So it's actually, oh no, it's because I got the bid there. Okay, that's why. I was gonna wonder, well, how did I get that? So there we go. So I did get a 58.40 bid there. So that's why. So now I'm 20 cents. Okay, that makes more sense. So now we're 20 cents in the money and ripping up higher. So our average price right now. So there we go. We'll hit the cowbell off a nice little bid there, 58.40. So we've averaged into AMC. Let's see where we go from here, man. I like this. We're still gonna take a long through 59.25. Let's start this AMC mooning. Hopefully today, guys, we'll see some of those levels as the chicken gets fired off right now.
All right, let's continue along here. We'll talk about some travel stocks moving in the pre-market as well, whether you want to look at some of the cruise lines positive, not as much volume I noted on the cruise lines, but we mentioned Spirit Airlines getting a Citigroup upgrade today. They also increased their Q2 guidance. So some positive momentum here, guys, for some of these.
We talked a little bit about Spirit there, maybe get above that 36 level. And I just want to come to, we usually look at TCL, RCL with, they're announcing an offering potential anyways. And then you're getting slightly above the 50 period, but getting right down to this 87.50, basically on the crust of it here. So the only reason I'm going to be looking at RCL today is because of that sort of setup. And I look at this 87.40 level, that gets taken out. I think there could be some downside here. I mean, you're seeing a bit of a nice little trend down. And look, if you're going to have momentum to the upside post, I guess taking this news pretty well and maybe rallying with the rest of the market, there is a chance of like a 91, and you can participate in that back up to 100. There's room to the top. It just feels like with this trend, if it takes out the low, I do like the setup on RCL. The volume is kind of RCL's volume isn't as good as CCL. That's just how it is. So it's only done like 12,000 shares, maybe a little bit more than that. So I would never take this in the pre-market, but I want to throw my stop short in after the market opens on RCL, and I'm looking at that 87.40 level on RCL. Once it hits 9:30, I'll see if I can't get that order in. Whether I get into position will be dependent on that level breaking to the downside. 'Cause I'm not looking to short the pop. I'm just looking to short that breakdown after looking at the daily.
Yeah, we've already gone over CCL. I do like that little move there, possibility here. Oh, shoot. Are we already breaking it right there? 28, yeah, we're getting close. 28.65 on CCL. We talked about that earlier. This bottom, we absolutely love that. But right now, guys, your favorite, my favorite, you know, DraftKings just continues to make the move down. It's now at its low of the day here again, 45.50. So a big move to the downside. We're in the money now, that's 30 cents on AMC and $2.30 now on DraftKings, making a move to the downside. So that's turned out to be a really good trade here for us, unfortunately. Because I'm losing more money probably in my account than we're making here on this. But here goes DraftKings to the downside. So there it is, man. I already called. I mean, my bid's there, 44.50. So we'll see another $1 from here. See if we can't smooth out 3 off this. As there, oh, it just stopped there at 45.50. Okay, this is going to be an exciting open. I'm willing to give this all back. I mean, let's just wait to see what happens here off the open. But there was a nice little resistance there at 45.50. I'm wondering just taking the 230. Let's wait to see what happens there. AMC bouncing a little bit as well. We did get up to 58.90 right there. So, you know, we're long. Again, that's another 40 cents we didn't take. So we'll wait to see if that can come through 59.20. My out here doesn't really exist. So I don't know how far this is going to go down. We'll just have to trade the momentum. But no outs for me on AMC. And DraftKings right now still making new bottoms. And Palantir, honestly, man, this is just chilling. We need to let the market open up here for Palantir. They have that new contract. We talked about it, but look at the NASDAQ sort of dripping down, which makes sense to me. Palantir dripping. We're not taking big shares on this name. The volume's okay, but it's nowhere like AMC or DraftKings right now. So let's wait to see. We will average in. We'll take some 95s on this trade, and then we'll see what happens down here at 24.50. So yeah, it's going to be a long road to the downside here on Palantir. If it keeps going, we're going to have to give it all the way to 25.50, 24.50 before we make a decision on that one. So that's the plan of action for PLTR.
Getting on a time here a little bit. Let's maybe break up the next two here, guys. Ocugen news this morning, manufacturing agreement. I want to mention Cleveland Cliffs here. We discussed CLF a little bit. If you joined us last week, getting mentioned on some of the online forums. They actually have news today. So they came out with increased Q2 and full year guidance today, guys, for CLF. So nice little 2% move here in the pre-market, 22.5, kind of acting as a bit of a level right now, but Cleveland Cliffs moving again.
There's this weird sort of 2260. I don't know if it's an iceberg, but you're going to see here. Ignore these wicks, but I mean, just holding this level since about just after 7 o'clock, and the offer is starting to pile up. And look, I believe you buy this one on dips. I mean, I like U.S. Steel, and I would almost shift in and say, you know, if this thing gets anywhere close to like $20 to $21, I think actually we mentioned this a couple days ago. If it got to like 21, it just has to be a value buy here, especially with what's going on with inflation and certainly turning to some of these types of names. For the day trade, I would love to, look, it would be great if a level like this were to hold for the next like 15 minutes, and then you get a chance to play off of the open, maybe like a break of like 22.75, and then you could just simply throw a stop at 22.60 because that's where this iceberg order would be. You'd risk like 15 cents or so, but it does feel like with the way the offer is stacking up, and it just gets bigger and bigger, that eventually this 22.60 might break, and then you're dip buy hunting. So for me, Cleveland Cliffs, I look back at this 22.20. This is the pullback in the pre-market, and would probably stick a bid in front of that 22.25 area on Cliff. Ocugen is doing something very, very, well, actually just talked about that rollover play just so quickly. Ocugen has this whole setup where it just already made a high at 750. If it does do that test of the high at 930 for that rollover trade, that could be there. It could also be there at about 725. Given how well it's held 7 even in the last couple of minutes, I'd probably prefer at 930 playing off the high of the day, however. So my first shot would likely be to the short side of Ocugen off that 750 level, the high of the current high of the day. Cleveland Cliffs, I don't really have any short ideas. I just only would want to be long that stock.
Yeah, I mean, I like the name. I'm not in it. I need to have more exposure. I mean, I'm just right now looking at DraftKings right here, down $2.40 now in the money on this play. And still, guys, for a target area here, like right in here is where I was looking. And, you know, I called right in here, when we were right up here. So let's see if we can get down to 44.50. I mean, I may change my bid. It's at 44.50 right now. I may go a little bit higher just to make sure that we get it. But we still should be able to get something off open, especially if this does crack lower. So we'll see if we can take a smooth $3, hit our daily goal here before the market opens. That would be pretty sweet. Yeah, just looking at that, or if AMC goes, we could do that as well. So 44.74. Look, I like Cleveland Cliffs. I talked about this a long time ago when it started to run. And again, it's all about copper. I'm not a buyer at these levels. I'm not even a buyer at 21. I'm a buyer of Cliffs down through, closer, much closer to this 50 period. This is way over exaggerated in my opinion. So we're going to come back down to 1950 or so where we're going to be a buyer. I probably won't be a buyer. These names don't really excite me too much. But if you were interested in any of these names like US Steel or Cliffs here, then I think you got to wait for 50 period moving average, which would be 19 and change. And then on US Steel, again, not a buyer of this one, but again, nothing wrong with having it in your portfolio. And I think you got to wait. Yeah, very, very similar. I mean, they're all good. You get a pullback down here to 24, maybe 25. I'm even looking a little bit lower for US Steel, 22 maybe for a buy there as well. But yeah, so that's, good names. And I think you need to have something in your portfolio. Okay, there goes AMC right now. A nice little move to the upside there. It just touched 59-ish. Yeah, it did. So here we go. Nice little run back to the upside, man. We're long AMC 58.56. So we've already got 50 cents in the money. We'll probably take out 50 cents on some of it and then hold, because we are trying to go longer through 59.20. So we'll probably put 50 cents in our pocket on some and then hold the rest, man, and see what happens here upside 59.16 or so. But you see where we're averaged in. So we'll get some out here, 59.10, 59.15, and then we'll take a long break where we wanted it initially at 59.25. But DraftKings Motoring and AMC Motoring, this is a good one.
Let's talk about Boeing here real quick, guys. We had a headline this morning. Finally, the U.S. and European Union have announced a resolution to that long-standing dispute on subsidies between Boeing and European rival Airbus. So not much of a reaction here. I mean, it's maybe priced in a little bit as far as this news is concerned, but worth having a look at Boeing today.
I'm not sure if there's going to be much of a day trade in Boeing here today. Like, obviously, you're seeing that consolidation that you mentioned here. Like, maybe you're waiting around for one of these bigger moves down to catch a dip or consolidation. So, I would sit around, maybe look for maybe you catch like a 240 or something like a little bit crazy, and you can catch a bounce. Like 11 o'clock, if the market turns red, that would probably be the way I would engage in Boeing. Otherwise, I would just sit there and hold tight. I don't know if we're going to get a chance, but if we're going to go to that torch, Brendan. So Torchlight, look, it's one of the newer meme stocks, for lack of a better word here, and it's actually breaking. This is what's interesting about it. It broke this 480 in today's action. And then you're going to see just all kinds of consolidation here, holding up pretty nicely on over 7 million shares worth of volume, just sitting between 460 and 5. And the bulk of it right around this 480 level, which corresponds with that previous top that we saw on the daily. So, I mean, a lot of times, and I was actually sitting there thinking, well, I should just build a short on this type of lower consolidation. And then I thought better of it when I had a deeper look at how high this consolidation is. If it was doing this below 460, that would make a heck of a lot more sense to me. But this is setting up for certainly a run at this high of the day, which is going to be a 505 potential break. The only interesting thing is the volume hasn't really had many spikes in it. So there's been some muted buying, sellers sort of jumping in and creating this equilibrium right here at 480. So I don't think it sits at 480 all day long. I think below 450, it's probably a little bit more bearish, and I would jump in below that price. Brendan?
All right, guys, another little one to have a look at here. CLSD popped up this morning on some positive trial news for a drug that they were working on. This kind of congestion area or top on the daily chart is 430, and then that wick up there was like 445. So 430, 445 is this congestion area from the pre-market here. So watch that, gets above it. Has a lot of room, in fact, to the upside. We got as high as 6 here off the bat in the pre-market this morning. It's holding just above 4 right now for CLSD.
Oh, that's one I should have. I had two shorts in this one. I shorted it one time here at like 720. That was going okay, and then I shorted it again off of $5 to 730, and did not give it back to like 513. So if this pops off the open, I think I'd be looking a little bit more at that 460 level, because if it breaks that, you're heading straight to like $5. I'd watch like 460 as a first look on CLSD, like 10% from here, guys. I think that'd be an interesting level. If it pops to 930, I'd probably be shorting off of that. You're seeing it anytime it gaps up and slides down like this. I should already be in this. I should have held it. I should have found a way to get back in. It's something, but I did absolutely nothing. I'll try to catch this one off the open if it does do a bit of a pop. Still watching. Corsair bounced off 35.50, by the way, guys. So it's already made a little bit of a test of that 35 level. So that's going to be one that's going to be worth watching right here off the open. I mean, I temporarily cancel my 37.50. I'm willing to put it back in as a grind higher, but I want to see this test. If this comes right at the open and can bounce off at 35 or even its 35.40 area, could be worth that buy off of the low, the reverse of that sort of short 930 option that I usually do.
All right. Yeah, right now I'm just looking at DraftKings, guys. I've actually canceled my bid. We're now $2.80 now in the money. So my plan of action here is let's see what happens off the open. Then if it breaks back above 45, then we'll get out. So I'm just waiting. Again, this could just keep trending downside. That's fine. Or it could just come right back to the upside here. So I really don't have any idea. I mean, I may just take this out if we do pop back above this level here, 46.20. But my new plan of action. So I had the $3 winner there marked down, and it almost broke 45. It did actually break 44.87. So there we go. So that's the official. It's a $2.90 winner right on the knot there. So if you want to take that, you could, you could take it right now. Here we go. Here's $3 right now if you want it. But I'm going to let this thing break 45, which it's doing right now. I mean, the short's a monster. This is already, we've already got trade of the day. So watch out for this one. I think that's pretty easy right now. $45 to the downside. Hope you like our trade of the day. I think Neil, myself, and Brendan working pretty hard on those ones. But $44.80 to the downside right now. I'm going to let it break back up. I could be leaving money on the table. I don't know where this is going to go from here. It's a brand new short seller report on DraftKings. We've already seen where DraftKings has come from. You know, it's come from 41, all the way to 56 in just a matter of 2 weeks. So it's given back more than half of that move. It's right into where I said it would go, man. 44.70, like that's it. That's the $3 move right there. I'm getting a little bit greedy, which normally I don't do, but hey, why not? Let's have some fun today. So I'm going to get a little bit greedy, see how low this thing goes, and then if we do pop below, this is the plan, guys. If we pop below 45 off the open, which we may do, we have to sit down there for a minute. I mean, I can't do it super quick. If we pop below, then I do want to see where we go, find out some key levels, but then my out will be 45 back to the upside, okay? So let's make sure that we all trade that together if you want it. That's going to be my plan of action. Like if this thing tanks to 44, then we'll see. Maybe we'll use 44.50 as our out, but for right now, I'm going to use 45 as the out, but I want to see if it wants to go down a little bit more. And hey, if it doesn't, we'll give some back and we'll get out right here. 46.15, okay? So that's where the out is right now, 46.15. We'll give it back. We'll take $1.70 on it if it does break back through this level. But until then, we'll see what happens on the downside of DraftKings. I do not have any bids.
So I just thought Corsair already made, of course it did, right? So Corsair already made that move to the upside. I'm going to throw that order back in, that stop, because it is pressing. It's going to get a chance to possibly consolidate here. I've actually thrown a little bit of a dip buy, but this one was already in consideration if we're going to hold that low. But on volume, a little bit of a pop here. So this 37.50 sort of back in play. I do like to buy the dip in front of this range here as well. If you go to that daily chart, for those of you guys that are just tuning in, if you go to the daily chart on Corsair, you do have this sort of range-bound top right around 35.50. I think that's one of the reasons why you get that sort of resistance turning into support kind of idea. Bit of a different name when it comes to these memes. You need a different name for some of these I guess meme stocks, which are more momentum breaks, because Wendy's was very similar. I think CRSR here, Corsair, falls into that kind of a category as well. I got out of DraftKings, but I do feel like if this makes a strong enough bounce into this, like anywhere close to that 47 area, I think is still going to be a fade. And Wish is another name which is making a move here off the open, well, going into the open, trying to bounce off of that 1150. It's trying to get back up to that 1190 area. I'm not all as on board with the breakout at 1220. I did want to see if there's a chance to be able to buy a bit of a dip here. 1080 to 11 was that sort of support area where if it goes below that, I think it'll be back to shorting. It seems like the bulls have a hold of this one above those prices though.
Yeah, the bulls. Well, I mean, I'm already going to go long 12.20. We're not going to do any too much else there. I did want to look at NEO one more time here because it's not. I thought it was going to be moving a little bit more in the pre-market, and it's not. So we didn't get it that 45.50. Watch out for that dip. We talked about that yesterday. This is what we did. Yeah, see now my trades are gone on NEO yesterday. This is what we did. We were buying these dips down here on NEO yesterday morning. So we'll see if that can happen again. That was 45.50. We'll wait on that one. You already know my plan for DraftKings. I just hope it doesn't blow up. There's AMC right there. We're waiting on that. Other than that, there's your Cliffs for a bid right there. QDN, we didn't even talk about that. That's there as well. AMC right now making moves to the downside. We're fine. We're still flat on this name. Our average price is 58.56 right there. I know Neil's above 59, but that's, I mean, we still think that we can break above. So, I mean, I still have an order to go long 59.20. I mean, sometimes this is just sorting it out, right? So we'll wait to see here. It's very, very low volume. You could see even yesterday, I mean, this is the pre-market. So let's wait till real volume comes in before we start judging where AMC is eventually going to go. But I do have some lower bids. We'll just have to wait for them to come in. And they're down in here, man, like 57, 50. I mean, you can see where they're going to be. Downside here, maybe even some 58 protection as well.
It's already that time. Miss V, she didn't run this time. She casually walked to get over to that bell this morning. I kind of thought it was going to be Randy because I saw Randy around here, but he's not in there. It's going to be Miss V in 5, 4, 3, already testing that 58 off the open at AMC. Let's ring that bell.
All right, let's go. Okay, so DraftKings, guys, plan of action right now. So it's down below, I believe, anyways. DraftKings right now down below. Yeah, there it is, 44. So we'll take this. If it breaks above 45, man, let's get out. So this is going to be the trade right now, and we'll just trade that. There it is. So now we'll go to the downside on, there it is. So
yeah, baby.
There it goes. Yeah, let's go.
AMC will go with this one. Remember, 58, wait till the open, buy 58 was my plan on the dip. Immediately test that 59.25 again. So going to start scalping at least a little bit of this out here on the way to 60. Now remember, 60 is a break on its own, so I want to have that 60 break. I got my order locked and loaded to add to the position on a break of 60, but that was almost on a tee. Lined up for you at the open, that 58 level in the reload. I only wish I hadn't even started at 58, 59, guys. Who cares? We've rejected 60, but that is just for now. I did get that oxygen short breaking 7, but that's not doing anything, and AMC's going crazy.
Guys, this is what happens when you believe in a stock.
Money.
Let's go.
Money,
There's
money,
AMC,
money,
guys.
money,
Look at this.
money.
Same bid, man. 58. Bang, 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 bang. All the way to the upside, man. We're monstrous on this one. We did get out. We got to make sure I cancel all my DraftKings now because we are out of DraftKings. That works like a charm right there, guys. We get out. Look at this trade. Bang! That's why we give you the education. That's why I'm here. That's why we're talking about this with you guys. There's DraftKings. We get out at 45, save ourselves a nice little chunk of change right there. And then AMC, man, we've played that like a fiddle. That fits like a glove. We're already 2 times daily goal. Let's go.
I'm going to get that torch in a second here. It broke that 460 area that I was talking about. And the AMC has not broken 60. I probably should consider, if it gets to like 59, I'll call it like 59, like 70, 80s or so. I'll take another leg off just because it seems like this test is failing up at that top. You got to look back to some of these dip buy levels and just jump in front of it at like 58.25, 58.50, even 58 even. So AMC, plan of action's ready in case we've just rejected once again off those levels. I'm ready to buy that dip. Ocugen holding out. It didn't make that pop at 725, so I'm only short at 701 here. That's the only position I have in that name. And watch out, Corsair, pennies away from the 3750 break, which is back in play.
Really? Oh,
It's
yeah,
right there
baby.
right now.
We called that long time. CRSR. Oh, man, why didn't we go long at the bottom? That's okay. Good job on that one, guys. If you believed in what I was saying down there, then let's go. But right now, we're going to wait for 3750. It might be the high, so we are a little bit nervous if that is the case. So watch out for Corsair there coming to the downside right now. Sorry, coming to the upside. Maybe a reload down here at 3580 right now. We did take a little bit of a break on Palantir on the upside. That was small. You can see our average price now 18s, so we are fading back in. We sort of thought that may happen there on PLTR, so that's why we're very, very light. We talked about where we want to average in. My orders are now, oh my God, my order was at 95. It went to 96. That's hilarious. So Palantir, we'll see if we can't get some more shares long. We do like this name. We just got to make sure that we're averaging in, guys.
Yeah, exactly. You got to get the prices that you like. I just want to come over to NEO because I don't, like, you guys tell me, did it really hit 50, 45, 20? And if I'm not watching on level 2, sometimes I'll discount these wicks. So I don't want to jump into this off of 46. or off this 45.50 level, I should say, if it really did go down to 45.25. But that's a crazy downward move in NEO, if that's true. Brendo?
Just on note, guys, suggesting that, yeah, copper 7-week lows as of this morning. So just saw FCX, huge volume print there at the open, all the way down to 37. Trying to get back to that point right now, down 5% and more for FCX.
Okay.
And there goes Ocugen. So we tried to give you this one like right off the bat. I said, we'll go gates of hell, Ocugen, consolidation lower. Now you're rounding out. I'll zoom in so you can see a little bit better here. It was that 7 break. It breaks that consolidation level. It could have tested up to 720, and it looks like maybe I could have had some 15s, but I only got the breakdown here. So quick 20-cent win. I'm going to hang on to the rest of this. The other one that we got to the short side was Torch. And I did say, and look, obviously, because it was one of those sort of meme names, I could have rolled into a short at 480. I said I'll wait till it actually breaks 460 to get bearish on this one. So I get a 56 short, which I haven't even taken anything out. I should take as 10-cent winner because remember, the bulls have had a hold of this one, so I should be taking profit and not looking a gift horse in the mouth.
All right, guys, here we go. Money over here. Wish. We talked about taking that out. Did we talk about taking that out or what? Rain down the money on Wish right now, guys. We talked about this trade. And again, how many things do we have on our sticky note here? Wish is right there. 1220 break. It's at 1250. Let's go, man. This is kind of a day that we are having. We are exploding cash everywhere. There goes AMC. Bang on AMC to the upside. Watch out, Valeria. We're going crazy over here. All these ideas turned out today, man. 3 times daily goal as we keep on ripping to the upside. Man, are we having a good day. Are you happy, Valeria? Let's go. Good job, Miss V. Let's go, Brendan.
Yeah, you want to make sure you get out of that AMC. Just turned hard off 61, a dollar pullback. An instantaneous dollar pullback when that touched 61, guys. So you want to make sure you catch a turn like this. Watch your level 2. Active trade here. It's going to give you a potential dip buy if that continues down into like 59 here. That was an awesome turn.
Hi, guys. Big mover yesterday. Woof coming back in today, but monster volume alert just went off there trying to hold 25.5. You remember this thing ran all the way to 29.5 yesterday for Woof, guys.
I wish I was a baller. You know, look at this out on AMC, guys. 60-50 out. Good out there as it keeps on going upside. We're still holding on, man, to this. Look at Palantir. You want to talk about talking about trades and making that cash? Look at Palantir. Bang, 95. We talked about that. Look at our average price, 25 evens as we continue to go to the upside here on Palantir. Neil, this has been a fantastic morning. We're going to go 4 for 4 here, guys.
Look, it's a great morning, but I'll tell you right now, it is a monstrous battle happening at 60 on AMC. It is absolutely insane, guys. What I'm seeing right now is just a flip back and forth, and every time we get above that 60 price, someone is dumping it wholesale. It gets to like 60.20 and it gets dumped on a market order to about 20 or 30 cents. That's what the tape is telling you. If the Bears lose this battle, we're probably going to $70 today. I mean, this is an unbelievable battle happening at 60 even. I kind of feel like that makes me want to only consider dip buys a little bit lower than this. I was a second ago, I was going to buy some more shares at 60 after taking out 60.75. No chance I want to do this because if this heads back in, you're probably looking at a nice little $1.50 to $2 dip buy. The shorts are okay. I mean, Torch is literally now at 430, so nothing concerned there. AMC here between 59.80 and 60.25. If it heads upside, bye-bye, guys.
There you go, Brendan. Pretend that you're Palantir. We're slaying Brendo today to the upside there as we take another 25 cents here on Palantir. Look at this. Tick, 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 tick. Boom. That's for you guys, man. We talked about Palantir. You guys, I'm trading the names you guys want here, man. Here goes Palantir right to the upside. We talked about buying these dips at 25. I can't do it any better. It's right on here. Every name that I'm in on is right here. We just destroyed, absolutely destroyed AMC. We took a 60 break. I mean, this is how I trade AMC, guys. Same as yesterday. It was a trade of the day yesterday. Bang, 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 bang. Same, more happening today. We are at the highest spot we've been at all day, obviously, off of this. And there it comes. There's the fade back down to 58. So here comes AMC right back to the downside. It takes out 58.40 there, guys.
Missed it. Oh my goodness, you gotta be kidding me. This is me waiting for that entire dip down. That whole time I'm staring at it, and then I don't actually catch it. So you saw me try to slip a buy in here at about that 70 level. It immediately goes right back to like a 50-cent win. He would have got like 59.20s or so. But this is why we're concerned with this level up here. And while I was telling you, I was only staring at one level too. Wasn't able to quickly get out of that long position of what I had left of it anyways. But I tried to get that dip buy. I pushed it back. This is why I canceled taking more at 60. It's why I wasn't looking right at 59 even, and then look back to 58, guys. You got to be able to read that tape. Someone market selling every single attempted pop in AMC. Brendo?
Hit makers are strong so far to start. Micron leading 1.5% so far. Volume coming in, guys, as we make day highs for MU.
I wonder how my boy NVIDIA is doing. I saw a little bad report there about the ARM deal. We'll wait to see on that one. But you know what, guys? Honestly, what a month, what a year, what an everything that we're having for you guys here. I mean, not even for you, but for our own pockets. This has just been absolutely incredible. No negative days in June, one in May, and all of our names here just continue to rock into the north side and to the south side. It don't matter to me going long or short. You guys know that. It doesn't matter to any of us. We're trading the action. But look at this. This is why this is going to be the trade of the day today. DraftKings to the downside, 48 short, out 45. We called this whole trade basically exactly to a T. So this is a big trade for us. DraftKings ripping to the north side right now. Very, very glad we're out of this one. I'm going to let this settle down. This is by far, AMC. I made lots of money on AMC. Palantir, Wish, they're all huge. But right now, DraftKings, what a save that was there on the downside. Man, we played that one almost perfect there. And then Palantir, this is another one. Unfortunately, we didn't take that. I just wish that blemish wasn't there, but that's okay. It's still to the upside, and we just still got some out at 30, just went to 35. Our offer did not get hit, but let's keep going, Neil. Let's go.
Yeah, and I actually just got back into DraftKings here because it started to crest around that 47 area. Now, remember, there was some levels I talked about where the lower band was 47.25, and it just turned to 47.40, so I get a reload off of that level. There was also that 48 that we're talking about, but AMC just created. I got out of the long, re-entered it when it just failed, broke 58 even, but AMC getting absolutely dumped here, guys. I want to make sure I'm getting some bids down around this 58 level after that 60 break was a bit of a fail. Brendo.
Just saw Uber guys popping up on volume, more of a volume thing than an actual movement. It's actually negative on the day, but a couple of news stories here for Uber. Walgreens expanding their collaboration, 7,800 stores now across the U.S. for delivery. And then this one up here is kind of interesting. Kia and Uber partnering up to give drivers in 20 European markets discount on electric vehicles, guys.
Booyah. It's okay. AMC right now making the moves down. We're averaging into this one, guys. We're going to see if we can't, watch this go, hopefully, back to the upside. So we are trying to get some more average in here to the long side. So watch out for that one flying through to a trade desk near you. Hopefully some more longs here on AMC. So we'll wait. We just took a 58.20 there. We're averaged into this one. You're not going to see any sells for me, hopefully, until 61. Let's see if he gets back up there. But here we go up to the upside right now. We just did buy this bottom there. So right now, AMC, let's see, man. You don't lose until you sell, and I don't plan on doing that yet, but our average price right now, $59.25. So let's see if it can get back up. We do have, that's right where it started. So now our average price is right here. This is how I trade, average in, average in, average in, and now let's see where we go on the upside here. Still waiting for Palantir to take off. I think obviously that's happening again as we speak. So let's just do as we do, man. Get out, get out, get out as these stocks continue to move.
And this torch is trying to make a bit of a bouncer. I didn't get any shares out the next 10 cents down at 430. I obviously should have, but as it does crest back up towards that 460 level, I'll wait until 55.60 where we got in the first time to try to add to that position at all. AMC just bounced. Try to get to like 59. I was offering at that 3/4 mark. New entries at the 58 even. It could not get there. I'm trying to reload here off of this pre-market level on Torch, but also watching closely this retracement in AMC. I also mentioned I got back into DraftKings, so DKNG. It did get to that 47 area, so I was able to short this at 47.03. It's trying to roll over. I'll take like 40, 50 cents worth of a win. If it breaks VWAP, I want to hold towards that 45.50 low, anticipating it could put in a higher low off of 45. Was that Brendan?
Another one just halting here, guys. This Alfie just halted to the upside, 63%. This thing was $4 in the pre-market here. A great opportunity for Alfie. Looks like a volatility halt, guys.
I have no idea what Alfie is, but I like the name. Okay, so Palantir right back up. Just look at this size. Actually, just noticing that right now. Let's see if we can get it out on a cheap one here on Palantir on that size there. Okay, there it is. So, you know, and what I mean by a cheap one, you guys don't have direct market. Well, if you do have direct market access, that's great. But see, you can wait and get paid $2 per 1,000 shares on one of these gateways. I mean, now they're all printing, so I should have. Or you could slip it in on a BOSX or an EAB, or that's an EDGE, BATY. There's a few different ones as well, some dark pools that will fill you, but you got to pay for the fill. So again, that's pay for order flow. We talked about that. So again, it's a little bit different situation because I'm adding liquidity, but the point here is that that's how you can get out, and sometimes you can get prices that you're like, holy crap, like where did the guy get that price from? But that's because we're offering different gateways, and we do have that ability here at Day Trade the World. So there it comes right back to the upside now. So let's see if AMC can't hold a little higher now. Rallying off this dip buy, so we'll see if we can get it. We're still stuck a little bit long here at 60, but buy. This is the only bad buy we have there, $60. But again, we're going to hold it for the upside now. Let's see how far AMC can ride now. Big monster day, guys. We're just, the pin's set up, and we just hit some home runs here.
Yeah, I'm gonna get those payable shorts on ALF because I like that halt trade. I just got some out in front of 59 on AMC, but ALF, look, I remember trading this one before, so I think it can be a good one for us here on the reopen play. I would like to see, just quickly here because it has some time, I would like to see it fail at $6 first. That's gonna be a level on the daily chart, 557. So it gives you a bit of a target range for that reopen play. AMC, and again, the same thing is happening. I mean, at least temporarily, I would say the same thing is happening at VWAP here at 59 as what's happening here. A bit of a battle being waged. It's not as aggressive selling, but trust me when I tell you, it ticks up, gets past that 77 to 80 mark, and then there's just market orders sort of coming in and driving this one to the downside. So you're going to have to weather a bit of a storm here. The good news is that we held this 57.50 area, but there were some crazy dark pool wicks that got us below that 58 level. Kind of crazy. If it comes back down, I think you're looking for reloads off of 57.50 to 58. Just widen the spread a little bit, given the action that I'm seeing to the sell side. You probably have to give each stop an extra 25 to 30 cents, I would say.
All right, Palantir, we just got a 34 there, guys. That was an unbelievable print as well. We're still watching this one as it's going there. And then AMC, we're taking a little bit out there at 58.80. Let's see where we go from here, though. I still have, you know, just like you guys, man, monster upside targets for AMC. So let's wait to see where we go from here. Have some orders parked, 59. Let me know when we're ready, because I see Miss V over there at the big screen. Give it to him, Miss.
Hey Sean, EHang is ripping. So guys, could you give us a quick review on EH stock?
Sure, we can have a look at that at some point here. We'll look at EHang quickly. It's ripping. This is one that Brendan and I have clearly made fun of in the past, and it was off of a big move down when I guess we finally saw their product, and we were like, huh? That was this kind of a move all the way down here. Yeah, it started up here, man. I remember this day, February. Yeah, that makes sense. Back there, a nice little bottom, 21. Wow. So I don't know much about EHang, and I'll have to find out what this move is all about, but it's basically almost, it's more than doubled in just over 2 weeks. We'll find out the catalyst for it. But on the daily chart, man, 47 looks pretty good. Again, this is a big move up for EHang today. We're going to wait to find out the news from Brendan. Look at that. It's Brendan time. What up, my man?
Looks like they filed a 20F form, which when last I checked, I believe, is when 50% or more of the company's shares are held by U.S. investors. So that could be a little bit of a positive sign here for EH, guys.
Good look. He brings you the news every single time. Got that reload here in Occugen. So new name, well, not a new name, but a new position alert here. We got the break of 7 even. It then does the other play we're looking for, the test of this 720 to 730 area. So off of the high of the day, it just tested this 730 area. I got back in off this wick. It ticked up to like 730, and I was able to get some into the short side of 723. Immediately we'll power up there. So guys, set up, have a plan of action. We like the breakdown on Occugen. I also like that test after the open off that lower high, so that's going to work out for you. Haven't added to that AMC or gotten out any more AMC, but the reload in DraftKings, now remember, of course, that Hindenburg short sell report is the driver of this move. It pops right back into that level on the daily chart that we're looking at. Well, you know, let's go to the 15-minute chart that we're sort of looking at here. You'll pull it back, and you just look at these lows previously here, 47.25. Where do you see that short here? Right in front of that same previous level. You look at the other short, that's right in front of this level here at 48.30. So either way, that's the way I like to set these ones up. It bounces off VWAP. This is post flush out long. So I do want to make sure I'm taking profit a lot faster here after that's a huge move to the upside. I am not averaging into a position like this. If it does break first level here, 47.50, I would hunt back to our original short price. Hopefully I don't want that to happen, but hey, you got to prepare for the absolute worst. If it breaks the top, I'll only short again in front of that 48 level.
Guys, I mean,
48, 40, 50, sorry.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, look, you can't be, and again, like playoff P there, self-proclaimed playoff P, Paul George, we're going to call ourselves disciplined because right there, this DraftKings trade was just a monster right there. Entry there, good short for Neil there. But yeah, a good little, again, just wish we would have reversed it to the long side. That's why we take some out here on AMC. We're still protecting profits. We're still positive on the stock today. But there's an out there at 58.80, 83, I think. And then we just take another long there. We're going to wait for 56, man. We talked about that over and over again. But that's fine. AMC is what it is. We've absolutely destroyed AMC over time. You guys know that. Everybody knows that. Look at Palantir, though, guys. You want to talk about a stock that's, just look what's on the list today, guys. It's absolutely amazing. Wish, Palantir, these levels. We didn't even look at CCL. What is CCL even doing right now? Okay, so again, good thing. Oh, that's why I have the order. It didn't break, I guess. 28.65 does not break to the downside. That's CCL. But right now, man, Palantir's 50 cents in the money. We're going to let it ride. We're very, very light on it. So unfortunately, it is going to be a celebratory thing, but not huge. And here comes back, 58.75. So I think we can get some out here if we can on AMC. A nice move back to the upside. Let's just keep on firing off the cannons, man. Like no ins and outs. Let's just wait. If we can get back to 59, then that'll be pretty sweet for us here. Again, just protecting profits. We've smoked AMC. It's going to be my #1 stock today. Let's see if we can get above 59 here. Here we go. Here's another big one for us. Another win up to 58.80. That's our average price is 75 now. 85.95. We didn't get filled there, but that's okay. Well, yes, we did. So there's a nice little move for AMC. Man, are we making this today? Let's go.
I'm not getting any more out of AMC until it gets past that 59 core, but this ALF did reopen. It opens higher, still grinding to the upside, breaking that top level. It looks like it's trying to make a reversal here. Now, if it can crest below this like 6 even, you watch this 560. If you take a short and it's not the sort of that reopen play that I'm looking for, I got to get myself a good price, and that would have to be 6 to 625. I'm almost hoping that it gaps up one more time here. And wow, I just said in AMC that I wasn't going to take any of you out until we got to that quarter mark. And next thing I know, like minutes later, we're talking about 59 3/4. So I do get back into that AMC. We get out here, and I'm going to see if I can't rinse and repeat. We're going to wait for deeper moves to the downside. Give it a little bit more room before you buy those dips, guys, in AMC because of the way it happens to be moving. Corsair broke 37. Did it break 37.50? I got the long, so it must have broken 37.50. Corsair through the top.
Yep, exactly. And you guys know that's why we hit that siren there. We called this one for you. Here's another banger. We're going to go absolutely, thank you, Ms. V. We're going to go absolutely perfect here on the sticky note again. Like, you guys want to talk about some NFTs coming through. We're just raining the money right now on this NFT, which should be our sticky note. Here we go, man. 37.50 rip side right now. Let's see how far we go from now. Who knows? But that's a good trade here. How about 80 cents in the money right now for AMC, guys? A big move to the upside. This is what happens. No marks lower than where we bought, guys. Bang, 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 right to the upside. We were waiting for 59.70s up and around here, so hopefully we can get going there, but a big trade for us. We're long at 58.30 right now on AMC, as it's my #1 stock here today. So really, really happy with the way this one's been trading. 50-cent winner on Palantir. We still have a baby position on Wish, but it is starting to fall back down. We already crushed that trade, so we'll wait on that one. And then Corsair now struggling at that top, man, 37.80. I did have an offer at 37.90. Let's see if we get back to 38 on Corsair. But man, what a day this has been. What a month. What a year.
And that torch, back into that torch play. So much like, I guess it'll be OCGN, you're going to see torch test that high after making that first little breakdown. So we're able to scalp that win. We get back into it and get stopped at the pre-market level. Then you look for that open range, and that's going to be like 480 to 490. I talked about 480 before. I'm short at 480. So it is what it is. These levels don't come out of thin air. We always want to make sure we're revisiting them when they come back to us, guys. Every now and then the market wants to reward you with a re-entry at one of those prices. You got to be prepared in case it gets there. Now, I think AMC, it looks like it wants to hold. It's basically right here at this 59.30 level, but holding this VWAP here at 59 even, guys. I do like the fact that it could give you another test down at these lower highs, or higher lows, I should say, at 58 even. But AMC, remember, it's not to me about 61. It's about at 60. 58.85 to 60.25 was a 40-cent range where there was an unbelievable amount of battle going on, and the sell side won with these crazy market orders coming in. So if it comes to that price I see dumping again, I am going to cover AMC and then look to buy the dip. I was not fast enough to do it despite hollering out while it was happening. Brendo, what's up, bud?
Another one to look at, guys. Citius Pharmaceuticals, CTXR, up on news. They've added a new doctor to their board. Looks like an expert in stem cell and gene therapies. So CTXR, nice looking daily chart here for CTXR. Just made day highs.
I'm going to add to that CTXR. Now, this is exactly what we're talking about. So AMC, another one of these little dips. So I'm getting ready, locked and loaded. Preparation is in. I have one bid in here, and I'm looking to see if I can't catch a little bit of a bottom, guys. So also that ALF, just to get back to this name, I don't want to get too far away from it because it's continuing to press to the upside. Right, so like I said, I'm not hoping against anyone that's maybe short this name, but I like those halt style plays. So it pressing up through this high of the day 640, halting again would give me a potential entry point. So I'm still waiting for that to happen. It is pressing off those highs, nothing there yet. Torch just made another test at the top. Flip chart. I was able to get some shares out at 470. It made another test at 490. I was not quite fast enough to dip back in at that 480 price, but it's bounced off VWAP again. So you want to make sure you're cycling some profit if you're playing a short like this, guys, because that's the only way you're going to load up the cash and avoid the plane crash, because that means if it breaks the high, if it takes out that 5 or that 505 level, it's not going to be as bad a trade because you've been taking that profit off on the way in there. That Corsair is the only thing, I guess, momentum-wise. It did give a bit of a pullback, but I mean, only pulling back into like 37.20 here. I'm sitting at, what am I sitting at? 37.88, and it got to 37.80. So about 8 cents away from getting that little first target out in front of 38 even. Corsair, nice press, but I guess that pre-market holding that 35.50 level was obviously the best trade there, buying off that bottom, guys. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens on Corsair. It's holding the top, but no breakout just yet. 37.50, it's basically flat. Torch looking pretty solid to the short side, but I need that Corsair to go.
All right, guys, we just went and got some fruit salad. You can see today's fruit salad, highly sponsored by grapes. I actually loaded the grapes up at the top. And look, it's always nice when you come back and you just see your positions just blasting off here. So, so far, so good, man. We talked about Palantir. You guys already hit that up, and now we'll look to get into some new names for you here. Palantir's 50 cents in the money. Thank you also. I don't know if you guys attended that, but there was a super chat there. Thank you so much. Sela Transportation. Thank you, Palantir. Yeah, thank you, Sela Transportation as well, man. I'm really glad that you guys are all over some of these plays that I've made today. It's just been such a monster day here, and we'll just continue to love life on the show. So big time movement. Brendo in the building.
Just saw this one, guys. The drone maker, UAVS, just popping up about 6% on big volume spike here. Still searching for anything that happened today, but I believe we talked about this. I could be wrong, but going back to last week, the FAA actually formed a new committee to look into longer flights or allowing longer flights by drones. So there was a little bit of positive catalyst. I believe it was this day. We mentioned UAVS last week, guys.
All right, that one to the list. I'm just watching that alpha. It's starting to roll over a little bit here. So, I mean, I'm not going to chase this one. But I thought it was going to get that break and then halt. It looks like it could be approaching like a halt down. Like if it fails 650, if it were to get to this 550 level fast enough, you could see a halt down, and I would play that as well. But either way, I'm going to be very, very patient with it. The next play looks like it's going to be another AMC push down. It just got to 58.25. I'm actually just sitting here at 58.22, and of course, maybe like 5 or 10 cents away from that little dip buy. It's still a little bit of momentum to that downside. This is what we're waiting for. This is why we got that out here. We're talking about it at that quarter mark. Now I'm looking back, and look at these crazy wicks. These are kind of real. When it presses down, usually there's one push, one little push that gets you a better price. So I could have 58.35 here, but I'm kind of looking for that last little push down to get a fantastic entry point, and then rubber band this one back up to like 59 and rinse and repeat buying these little dips. Maybe the trend is too obvious and some people are starting these turns a little bit higher. That's an overall bullish sign, guys. I mean, if they're going to start these turns, 50, 60 cents higher each time, and they're going to be strong, eventually you're going to get that 60 test. Like I said, I don't care as much about 61. It's that selling at 60 that's of concern to me.
All right. Yeah, no too much concern for me here on AMC. We've absolutely destroyed this today, as well as Palantir. We had a small spot. We're leaving it to see where it goes. So don't take that with a grain of salt there. We've got double outs right here. So we did the same thing, man. Just buying these bottoms. My best buy, 58 evens. Now we'll wait to see. I still think we can get back to the upside right now. So now we have $1 in the money on AMC, and we're still holding, man. So let's wait to see where we go from here. I do have some offers. 59.70. We've talked about that up in this area. So if we can get out there, that'd be pretty sweet. But we're just going to keep holding this, man. Gang, ape gang. We're here with you guys to the long side right now today. That's for damn sure. Here we go. I just called 59.70. It just missed it, though. Let's not get too greedy. Let's take out a piece there, and then we'll cancel that 59.70. Oh, there it comes right back up. Oh, we should have held it. There it is. But there's a nice little winner again, man. Your favorite, my favorite. Valeria's favorite. Oh, I'll get Valeria's favorite in a minute. Here's Valeria's favorite. The Superman, but I think you like Valeria Batman as well. Right there, hit it again. There it is. So there's Valeria Batman. Nice little move there for AMC. Just absolutely destroying the stock today. We're at our highest level we've been at all day. AMC, Palantir, Corsair, and Wish, man. Oh, we just got a little bit more out on Wish there because it looked like it was going to break that level. So we got out. We got out some at 20 there on the way back up. So watch out for your Wish positions, guys.
Yeah, definitely watch out for Wish. I was actually just watching this one. Same thing as AMC, where it has that lower high. There was a bit of a violent push, and this is a 1250 level here. It's got that lower high of 1225, guys. So it might be running into some trouble now. AMC's came to the level that. And this is where it's all the marbles, I think, at that 60 as it comes back in. And if it does that same crazy little battle at 50, where it can't get above 60 quarter and the selling comes right back in, I see no reason why you can't take profit,
oh my God,
look for a bit of a pullback deeper, and then get yourself a bit of a better price if you don't already have something around that 58 level here, guys. And then you can always take a break at that high. If it breaks through, clearly it's going to have no trouble, I think, getting to that 65 to 70 area, which is the next stop to the upside there in AMC. It looks like Corsair doesn't want to go. RCL, I still like the 87.40 break, but that thing is doing absolutely nothing, and the volume's piss. Brendan, what's up, bud? No? Oh, no? Okay. I thought I heard Brendan. We're not going to Brendan in a second. I'll go back over to Torch. This name is back to flat, so I want to make sure I'm rinsing and repeating this action here off of VWAP, but I'm not going to short it into that, obviously the high days at 505. I'm not going to short the same price at 480. I want to make sure I'm getting better prices each time I scalp it, because the trend since the open has been a bounce and then going back to the long side. So I want to make sure I'm getting a better price as that approaches 505. Now we're going to Brendan for happening now.
Hey guys, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets here. Yeah, back in the red. Unfortunately, we are negative now. The S&P 0.1. You can see the Dow 0.3 leading the way. Tech stocks, I mean, they made an attempt off the open, but still back to the downside as well. The Russell there, 0.17 to the downside. We are higher here in Toronto, 0.4% for the TSX. CLF on the watch list this morning. We were talking about it in the pre-market. They increased their Q2 and full year guidance. That caused this move to the upside to 23, but we're right back to basically where it was yesterday, not really doing a heck of a lot. 0.3 to the downside. Boeing kind of gave you that same sort of move. It popped up initially to 248, but bouncing off pre-market support, guys, for Boeing. Back to you.
All righty then. Okay, so Wish coming right back. Look, this is going to be the one trade that we're just going to sort of wait for on Wish. AMC also back to that 60 level. We're going to wait for this one, get it off here up to 61. We're just going to hold these for the rest of the day, hopefully. 58's long. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of a cannon action. And we've already talked about, there it is. Oh, thank you. I just got smoked in the face by the sausage. Okay, you know, apes, diamond hands right now. This is what we have. And this is diamond hands. Like, I get a lot of talk, a lot of feedback from yesterday's trade of the day as well. Day traders don't have diamond hands. You're right about that because we sell every single day, right? I got to be flat. But, you know, a $2 winner for me is pretty good here on AMC. So we'll wait to see where that one goes. But, oh, yeah, Reggie, you're right. So Reg, we did talk about Ford there. I said, what? Oh, crap, Reg. Thanks for bringing this to my attention. What? It's what? It's above 15 here, so we'll go, huh? On this one, because wow, Ford right to the upside, man. It's too bad because yesterday on the after show, I talked about wanting this thing through 15, and if that made that move, so yeah, a big move. Thanks for bringing that to our attention, Reg. Off this little bottom there, I love Ford, and now it's starting to go. So this is a little much there, maybe back to 14.90, but thanks for bringing it to our attention there, Reg. Good move up for Ford. Yeah, 1.5% straight up fire. Let's see if we can get some in the 90s though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice little move there in Ford. Now, I want to get back over to this ALF. It looks like it's about to plunge here. It's making a nice little crest. It does feel like if it rolls over, we're going to test that 560 area. I just loaded into more shares of that CSR as it's trying to bounce on VWAP. Just try to be patient with that one on that dip buy because 35 is the real level there. And AMC continues its battle. But I think ALF, if this rolls from this point on, you're probably going to get a retrace of like that 5 to 520. The other one, and this is UXIN. We talked about this setup. This is the one that got away. I got into OCGN. It was exactly the same setup, and OCGN came in first, so I got it. And then UXIN, I missed, and it's going to be a horrible, horrible miss for me because that was sort of that obvious level failing at that 570. And then if you got that pop at 610, which didn't happen, it would have been fantastic. But AMC finally,
let's go,
finally above this 60. For now, the same thing happened at 25, where it just slammed back in. But I think the key is, do we actually hold above? It's trying to hold above now. I don't know why my level 2 keeps on not wanting to flip with my chart. But here we go. It finally holds above that 60.25. So this is the break that we're looking for. I think you can look at that 61 now. Now that whoever was selling at those price levels is seemingly gone, I think you can buy at some of these higher levels a little more confidently here, especially if it takes out the high at 61.
There we go, guys. I mean, this is the life right now, man. If you're not enjoying yourself here, then you may have not found the right channel for you. This has just been an absolute monster ride up, man. This is exactly what we're talking about. We take some out right here, back-to-back jacks, and then now we're still long on this name all the way up. Another $2.50. I've been tweeting out AMC. We gave you some of these levels. I gave you like pretty much every single trade here so far today. And on that note, guys, like Miss V is here. She hasn't called Rainbow. 61 now, guys. 1.3K. Let's get this going a little bit higher if we can, guys. 1.3K. There's 8,000 people watching. If you can't turn that like blue, please do it. Or whatever the color it goes, red, or I don't know what it does on your phone. Please hit that like button, man. The show is completely free. Yeah, Miss V, kill them. What do you got to say?
Well, guys, for rainbow hair, I only ask 6,000 likes. It's the cheapest price on the market. Just click the like button and I'll make fun for all of you.
All right, let's go, guys. Yeah, thank you so much. There it is, off the sticky note. We've hit AMC a bunch of times today as we just continue to rip upside. Hey, man, Brendan, man, it's only a $3.50 winner, Brendan. I'll give it to him.
Get much better than that. That's why you join us, guys, in the pre-market to get those levels. XYF halted again here. I think that's a dark print, not that tick up there, but it halted at 11:20, the last print I saw. 42.09. Started the day, guys, at 8.50 here for this XYF. So very, very small float on this. 38 million shares heads up on XYF.
Heads up also, that torch broke the high, that 505 level. It got slipped to 508 on the reversal into the long position. It got to 15, so scout that one out and then see if it can't continue this press. I think if it gets down to 490, it's good for a bit of a dip buy, but this meme name as well, pushing to the upside. So there we go, the 2000. We're a third of the way there, only 1/3, but hey, it's only 10 o'clock. There's plenty of time for this to still go on, guys. And this AMC, we talked about this at 60. If it breaks 60, I think 68 is well within range. That to me means there's going to be breaks at like that 62.5, at 65. I think initially when I had this one at 61, I'm going to pull that back. If we dip down, I'm talking about this 60 level. If that selling is gone from that price, I think that's your first dip with a relatively tight area if you like that dip buy, and then maybe hunt back into VWAP because that 61 break, even the classic 50-cent scalp, and is immediately consolidating. I'm still holding the 58s that we had from earlier, but believe me, I want to get into more shares to flip some more back and forth here on AMC because staying active when it's doing this much volume, not that hard to do, and you want to take advantage of it when you can.
No, for 100% for sure, guys. AMC, my #1 stock, but actually, I mean, that Palantir, DraftKings, I mean, they're all right here. They're all one and the same. DraftKings, a nice little trade as well. We've already talked about that. This is going to be our trade of the day. You can find that after our release at 4 p.m. We'll talk about this trade exactly. So, yeah, Ford, is that still going? Did I just hear Randy there for some reason? I don't know if he's just in my... Wow, Reg, man. Good call on Ford there, guys. Just monstrous moves up. I don't know where this is coming from other than Ford's been beat down the last couple days, so I guess that's probably where it's coming from. Why not just make sense with that? So we were waiting for 1490. Maybe that dip was a little too excited. I don't think it's going to dip down there. So maybe we now have to wait for 15, but a great call. Thanks for bringing this to our attention, guys. This is why we tell you that you are the #1 audience out there. This is not just talking about shares or anything like that, guys. This is talking about real trading and things moving to the upside there. So let's just keep on going with Ford. We'll wait to see if it pulls back to 15. Hopefully a decent trade there. But hey, man, we've still got these on, man. We're still going to try from a day trading standpoint. Don't give me shit online. We're trying to hold on to this, man. This is a big trade for me. From 58 all the way up, we've got the bottom of the day, and now we're at the top. To me, that's pretty damn good. And so let's just keep on watching this one, see what happens here on AMC, guys.
I'm telling you, it's like someone knows that quarter idea on some of these breakouts, and the torch, of course, gets to like 528. The second it turns around, I'm trying to jam at these, trying to get some shares out at 24, 25, and you see a deep pullback here. Now, if it wants to turn off that quarter, I was hunting for a dip buy between 490 and 5 even. This is going to be we'll take a quick shot here. Like there's a lot of these sort of meme names that have come through. Torch, I believe, had a special dividend, if I remember correctly, and that should be in our watch list. So you guys can read up on that. It's for free. That's why it's there. So I just bought the dip at the exact price that we reversed into the long in the first place, guys. So if this is the harsh pullback, I think maybe like a 490 level. If you like it a little bit better and you want to be patient, this thing had buyers at 465. Remember, that was also that pre-market low. Shorted off that level. It was good the first time, not the second time. Then shorted off 40. It was good the first time, not the second time. The long was okay, but someone just stuffed it in front of that 525 when I tried to get some shares out. Hopefully, I'll have a second leg in it. AMC, like you said, Sean, I mean, it is. Look, we obviously got to be flat by the end of the day. If this was real, I would have more shares because that's at 58. I thought this pullback here would get a little bit deeper than 60.75, and I'd be able to buy back in. For now, it is holding 61. So the only thing left, I think, breakouts, if it doesn't want to even give any kind of a sniff at pullbacks into VWAP. Ford wasn't alone, by the way. The weakness that you saw in some of the other EV names, I feel like that was a bit of a buy opportunity here because GM, so I should say, also bounced off 60, but has yet to break its high of the day. So still a bit range bound for GM and flat on the session. That's a huge reversal in a lot of those EV names, but not as much in your NIO here. So some of the other high flying, higher valuation EV names are hanging off those lows. Kind of something we thought would be a rotation. Maybe it's starting today.
Okay, yeah, we're waiting here, man. I mean, we're going to see what happens here with this position on AMC. I was just debating getting it out at 61.50, but I don't know why even bother to do that. We're at the upside. I mean, if I take out 61.50, I'm just going to go long again, 61.67 up here anyways. So for me, there's really no point. We're just going to hold on to this one and see where we go from here. Palantir, I told you it was a small spot, man, but it has come all the way back down. So I think this is worth looking at a long again for Palantir. What's up, B? Another
one getting money from other bigger players in their group. Elox Pharmaceuticals, ELOX is the symbol. ELOXX Pharmaceuticals getting some financing secured yesterday by Roche Finance. So that came in after market yesterday, popped this one up a little bit. We're 23% higher today, guys, for ELOX.
All right. I'm just looking at this AMC. I'm just wondering what the best plan of action is for this name. So we're gonna get out. So sorry, I just got out there. So I just got out of AMC right there. $60.66. We got out there for a smooth $3 or so, whatever that was on the win side there. So a nice little trade there for AMC, and we'll take a long if it breaks back above $61. So we just take a smooth $2.50 something cents there. I'll check the trade list after, but that's a nice move there for AMC. We just took it out on that. So there we're going to save ourselves a little bit of money on the way back in, and then we'll see about picking it up again if it comes back into this area, 59.30. But there it is, man. The rinse and the repeat, hopefully, on AMC. Like Neil said, there's a lot of volume going on here. So I'm going to get out now, and even if it rips back up, I've saved myself this 30 cents, so I can redecide right now if I want this longer. But for right now, we'll get out and we'll wait to see what happens on a 61 break again for AMC. But man, this was a good trade today, man. Walking on that water.
Yeah, AMC, unbelievable mover here. Now, this is the second time Torch is going to do this, though, at that 525. This time, I actually get shares out around 520, but a couple of times here, there's no way I'm reloading again at 508. If I want to play this to the long side one more time, it's going to have to be closer to 485. 485 and 490. So I've taken a little more profit off on Torch. Part of this was a reversal. You'll see a couple of entries here, and then I did get that reload, but it looks like the reverse is coming in on Torch. This was initially a short for me, guys, and we flipped into that long trade. I like AMC on this dip at some point, and I'm starting to hunt back here as we're about to go to Brendan. Looks like we're trying to test this 60 area. Remember, that was that battle that got waged. If it holds 60 quarter, that's actually a pretty good sign. Brendo?
Just saw Shopify, some Canadian content for you guys. Shopify day highs right now. I mean, it's a minor headline, but they bought $1 billion worth of Stripe shares ahead of its IPO, the payment processor Stripe coming to market. Shop, 2.5%, guys, after a big day yesterday for this one.
All right, yeah, I mean, I love that. And I mean, why can't they just buy more PaySafe? We'll see if what that's doing right now off that news. I don't think it's doing, it's not doing anything. 1150, this has been, we talked about DraftKings and how perfect that was traded off a SPAC, and then now PaySafe really not doing anything. So that's good to hear that they're buying shares in Stripe because it's a very, very similar business. Not the same. I do know Stripe. I use that a lot as well. Yeah, okay, there we go, guys. AMC back to the high side now, 60.80, still trying to rip. Let's see if 61 can break now here on AMC. So we'll see if that can break it. We'll get right back in, man. That does go down to 60.20 there. We're just rinsing and repeating on this one. Let's see how high this goes up now. I mean, I think we could take out 62. There he is. So now we're back long on this name. So we've just been absolutely destroying AMC today. Let's see how high we can fly now, baby.
Sorry there, Sean. Robbie just helped me with my Unity. My earpieces have been giving me some trouble this morning. So best team in the world. They're like switching over there. They're fixing some audio issues. You guys I know some people are looking at BlackBerry. I know there's other stocks that are moving here and missed a bit of a bounce. When BlackBerry with a dollar move and now trying to hold VWAP itself. I mean, when AMC is taking out highs, I'm not really apologizing for the fact that we're going to focus on what is actually moving a little bit stronger here today. But yeah, there was barcoding all morning long at flush. Now you're trying to hold a 14 level. I mean, I like the breakout that's going on in AMC a little bit more here. And I think we can take out the top again in AMC. I just did not find my way in to that dip on 60. So it looks like the breaks are what's in play a little bit more so than the levels I like to that pullback. I'm still hanging on to those 58s. But I guess, what are we talking here? Like 62.50? This is ridiculous. Now $4.50 in the money. I don't see much of anything until you get to about that 68 level. So maybe that's where we're headed today, Sean.
Yeah, I'm just glad that I took some of your advice there. Get out and then make more money. We go longer again, guys. Like, these are just back-to-back jacks here, man. Look at this go up. How much money are we going to make today on AMC, guys? Again, any of these could also be trades of the day. On these breaks, I could justify every single one of these plays, man, straight to the upside. And here goes just more winners for us on AMC today, guys. Monster moves. Okay, so now I don't even have, I have a third of the shares of Palantir that I had right here, guys. So even though this is dipping down, we're starting to buy. You can see where my average price is now, 97. So we are out of the money, 11 cents rate, or 8 cents right now on Palantir. Not a big deal. The market did fall down. I mean, I'm just over the moon here, with this trade on AMC, guys. I mean, I don't know what else to do, man. Just dap it up. Like, congratulations to all of you guys. We talked about it early. It's straight off this level, man. And I even said, look, if 60 breaks, do we see 70? Like, these are calls I made, when the stock was low. So now let's see where it goes from here. A big win, man. Now we're light. We still have half of this position, but just bang, 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 bang to the upside, man. AMC just cashing it out with these diamond hands, as far as I'm concerned here for AMC. Let's just keep on going to the upside, where I took a $3 winner. And if I would have held it, man, it'd be $5. But we made double the money on this reload. So double the money, that's what happens with AMC.
Yeah, another halt on that ALF. So I don't have any short positions on, as you guys can kind of see. I'm all to the long side. It's not that I'm hunting for a short. I mean, I like setups here. And we're halting again. I like re-entries off of those halt plays. I was kind of hoping we'd get a bit of a push. It resisted this first 560 here. If we open up and we play down in this cluster at about 620 to 640, that's one way to possibly be able to get into it off of that halt high. If it breaks the top, I don't really have any levels to the upside past there. I'd have to look for like successive halts to the upside, maybe like a second or a third. It does look relatively strong. This torch, finally, I mean, look, there's all kinds of meme names, and this has already broken that 480 on the daily chart. That's why 480 mattered to me, and we were shorting in front of it earlier. It just broke 25s, got to like 535, and again is pulling back in. So I didn't reload this other time here at 505. I probably should have, but I gave you the reasons why I was hunting for a 490 or 495 dip buy. I thought it would come in. It hasn't happened. I'll sell more shares in front of this high, and then probably at like 530 or so. Then maybe sell some more shares in front of 550, and then see how far this one can go. Torch is up 46%. It's not as strong as AMC, guys, but if you guys ask for it, we'll do you this one. Torch has nothing to do with cannabis, but I like this music, so there you go, Phil.
Yeah, man, that's the jam right there. I mean, this is how we're feeling today, man. Everything we're doing is just lighting up the charts today, man, just like that beat would as well. AMC 9-10% now upside, man. $63. We're long and in charge of this stock all day. We've been in charge of this stock, guys. Like, we own this stock today up to $63, $64, and it just keeps on going. Like, this is how I'm trading it. Biggest stock of the day. Now I feel bad for calling DraftKings the trade of the day because it could easily be these ones right here, man. Like multiple. We had a big trade on AMC yesterday, and we're going to have it again today as we just keep on rocking and rolling. And then look at Palantir, man. I mean, I said no woman, no cry on the downside there, up to 25. Let's see where we go now, man. Do we get to 25.10? This is the kind of jam that we're in today, man. Everything working out. But hey, it's nothing that new for us here on Trader TV Live. I've been destroying, a lot of markets lately. So let's just keep on going to the upside. We could check back with Arun. We don't have to today, but we'll see what these futures are doing. Not much. They are downside right now. The S&P broke, the NASDAQ broke, but we are all-time highs, closing highs for all of these yesterday. So big movements in the futures.
Yeah, I mean, the market is heading to southbound here, and I kind of had this little fear. I mean, we'll have the two-day Fed meeting, which of course will come to a head tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. We'll talk about the tapering or whatnot. I did get that entry, and this is what's going to happen in that ALF. So it opens up, it immediately tries to break above that halt price. You do have that quick failure. So I jump in, I get 650s, which off of this like 670, and you can go two stops here whether you like it, depending on what your share size is. I think you can either go full size if you like it off of like a 670, or to me, I'd rather have a few less shares and be able to give it to that 680 top. So I've chosen the latter. I don't always do that, guys, but I think given how far this one has moved from 380 to 660, that's why I give it a little bit of extra room. I want to get some out in front of this first cluster at 620. I want to get some out in front of VWAP, and then I want to see if we can hold. Yesterday, if you were watching the afternoon show and it was a banger, I had two, going into that one, I had two fantastic shorts off of halts, and both of them went like an extra couple of dollars after I got out of them. So I always want to hold on to like a third or a quarter, some of that position. So if you get this break, you never know. You could be testing back at 440 to 450, and I want to have taken everything out in the chance that ALF is that home run.
Yeah, and this is why we're chilling. This is why we got our fruit salad early. This is why we're drinking the waters right now and just in chill mode, man. This is the way we've been trading. Just take it easy, trade the best names, and then just have the absolute bangers on board for you guys, and that's what we do have today. So we're just going to keep watching some of these names. AMC looking to take out 63, guys. Hell yeah for that one. Put it in the chat if you're all over this AMC, guys. Glad you're loving the show, and it's about to even get better with Brendan on the big screen. Let's go, Brendan. He's got Alf.
Yeah, big mover today. Let's have a look at ALFI, I believe it was ALFI maybe. ALF on the NASDAQ regardless, now about 90% coming in off that high though. I was looking at this 4 level, pretty obvious support in the pre-market. So it did give you very, very good risk reward right out of the gate this morning versus 4. It gets below 4, you get out of the way. So on the long side, that ends up top end 525. We're obviously significantly higher than that now, but great opportunity right out of the gate for ALF. Let's go over to CLSD. A bit of a slow mover, kind of grinding its way to the downside. We are retracing right now into 420. Watch 420. That was resistance. The second one in the pre-market, the initial one was 450, so I'll give that all the way back to 450. Already worked pretty well off of the open. And that UXIN, man, this is such a missed opportunity. I'm laughing because I was talking about it at 580. We're at 410 now on UXIN, guys. What a move.
The worst trade. I mean, one of the things we try to do, and like I'll be talking real fast going into the open about some of those small caps, and I quickly was mentioning Akigen and UXIN. It was wrong one, man. Akigen was only okay. We'll review that in a quick second here, but I said I'd wait for a deeper pullback on Torch. I never got those 530s, and there is that move down into 490. It is worth noting. If you go back into the pre-market, this was that lower high that it put in, that 490 level. So is it a coincidence? This is what I was shorting that last time. That was the last short we had, and now trying to buy in front of it. If it breaks 480, that was the price from the pre-market. So I waited till 490 to add shares back in because 480 is going to be that little bit of a stop. At this point on AMC, you're probably thinking like, 65 is sort of an obvious level to me. There are no pullbacks. I mean, there was one close to 60, and I sort of said it myself, and I didn't really pay. I said it, 58.85 to 60.25 is where that battle was happening here. And if it bounces off the top end of that range, that should be a long entry. It couldn't even dip into that price. I should have been in some more shares a little bit higher up. I didn't do so. I think 65 is an obvious area where you take profit, dip buy, break out as well off of 65 even. So you got to have it. Look, I'm a day trader anyways. I have to get out of this. There's no such thing as, like Sean said, there's no such thing as diamond hands with this account because I have to cover it. So 65 is as good as any. If it comes close to that price, I'll look for a turn. Otherwise, just plop it in front of like 64, 75 or something like that.
Yeah, it's been an unbelievable run here for AMC. Who knows? I'm speechless for it. And I just want to say congratulations to everybody because it's been a Papa Wheelie kind of day on that name. And we just continue to go upside, man. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day. And we are just continue to just... I don't want to say bad words, but just destroy all of these names, man. We'll continue to raise the cup today. Shout out to my kids if you guys are watching. Just hopefully you guys have diamond hands as well in Roblox. Actually, they're investing in Roblox, my kids. So I don't know. They made a good call on that one. We'll wait to see. Okay, Palantir. We just got some out there at 25 flat. So that was a good out for us on Palantir there off of some of these longs. So now we'll wait to see our average price 95s. We got some 91s. You see those buys out 25 for 5 cents. I don't know, man. I was hoping the futures would rally, and then this would even pop even higher. So we're at the highest spot we've been at all day, man. We're 3 times our daily net, and it's been obviously a really good day for us here. We just need, if Palantir can get back to these levels, then honestly, I'm gone. Like, that's just such a big move, such a good day. That UXIN, wow, great call on that one. And then I'm really happy that we just have small position on our wish now, as that just keeps on going down. We were able to make some money off this. Now we'll just wait for it. I don't know, 11:30. These bottoms 11. If it breaks 11, we got to get out. I mean, this looks like a bad trade, but it's not even affecting the net here. We'd probably be negative on Wish. Actually, if it breaks down here, we'll be negative on Wish. So let's just wait to see. Hopefully it comes back up and we can get out around 12 again. So that was a misstep. We should have got out when it blew up. You know, I've been trash talking Wish for this very, very long time. So there it goes to the upside. And then AMC still pulling back a little bit. It goes as high as 64.50 there. We could get out, man. We've absolutely destroyed it. It's my #1 stock, but I think we might as well hold on until we get some downside pressure here. That was a great reload there on AMC.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and we'll go with, I just keep hitting this one. I did get out of AMC at that 64 turn. When you have a target area like that, that's at 65, if it starts to give one of those like, hey, that's a quick turn short signal to me, then I'm gonna jump out of my position if that's the way I like it. And Alphi, I forget what we're calling that one here. It gets that first level, so in front of that first cluster here at that 625, 630 area. Now looking down into VWAP, so same thing. I'm gonna still give it to that high. If it bounces off VWAP, I'll probably trail this one around this 640 to 650. Sort of this previous high here was at 640. That's why I picked that number. But it has to bounce off VWAP first. It's kind of comfortably trying to grind down, but this is the same thing that happened off the first halt. It bounced up, it gave you an obvious resistance level, even a failed break at 640, and then bounced off of like 576 in front of that halt price. So that 576 could have some buy action to it. I don't want to ignore that, guys. Then AMC. If it's gonna do one of those like fail breaks here, this pullback, we're talking $1.50, $2, and then 63, you're literally talking $1. At this point, if it fails off of 60, I mean, it's not 65 because it's 64.50. I really do think if it falls hard enough, you got to just sort of jump in front of this one at like 60 to 61 off of VWAP if it's that crazy. Otherwise, you nibble at it at 62 for maybe like a third or half position size, that kind of an idea here, and then we'll grab that one on a bit of a dip. We got it at 64 with the intention of getting back in. Holy crap, I finally got into RCL. So I wanted the break only at 87.40 in RCL. It only took an hour or so since the open, but I'm now short on RCL. Finally happened.
Yeah, I want to check out CCL there, but I forgot to. Okay, this is you.
Oh, yuck.
I screwed up my charts. Let's check out CCL here. I got to get the futures back. Okay, so CCL just breaks as well right now. So this is probably worth a good short here. We're looking at that 28.69 level there. We did average into Palantir here. So let's wait to see. Hopefully that can come to the downside, or sorry, to the upside, Palantir. So I think we'll wait on CCL, but this could be a good trade. We'll take a little, sorry, wrong stock. Where's CCL? We'll take a little bit of a short on CCL. There it is. We missed it. So we're waiting for 28.67 there. We're waiting for it. We'll see if we get short CCL. I do like that one. AMC still banging around 63.50, so we'll wait on that. And then we've averaged into Palantir. Remember, we talked about this, man. When the NASDAQ comes down, I got to swing that chart, which I will. You got to be very, very careful with Palantir. So, and then we just did take another long here on Corsair. Again, you know, we're not going to lose everything on that. We did get out there on that break, so that was a $1 hit. Now we're going to average into this long down to 35.50, man. And then we'll wait to see what happens with Corsair right now. Should have picked up some more. We'll put a bid down low, 35.50, guys.
I think Corsair, my stop is below that 35.50 because you got to look at this here. It's like 35.38, the pre-market low, and I kind of want to work off that level because, and again, this is a bit of a different trade because like you believe in one of these ones because it's a different kind of a move, and this is resistance here at 35.50, but these are all wicks to the top. And then you do have some clusters here just below that. So I think you have to give it a little bit more room off 35.50, but that could be splitting hairs. AMC did not, did not pull back as far as I thought it was going to. That's a daily chart. You guys don't care about that. I thought would maybe immediately go down to that 62 and then sort of touch it and be able to buy that dip, or a harsher push into VWAP there, immediately stalling right here at 63. So, I mean, this thing can't even pull back that far as I'm expecting. RCL, like I said, I did just get into position on that one, just to give you an idea what it looks like. And I said, I just actually said in the chat, I should have faded into this instead of only waiting for the level break because I would have had a better price in the short. It is what it is. It took out that low. I'll actually get more shares if it does want to pop into this consolidation area just because I like that cluster double bottom, 87.70 to 88. So I'll pop an offer in there just in case it does want to bounce to the upside. And Torch gave up the ghost. It looks like it went from, and I said I'd only be bearish. Maybe go RCL. I mean, it might work anyways on RCL, but it doesn't mean it was the best entry point of all time. Torch back below 480. These are the prices. I'm not shorting the tops in this thing. I'm actually shorting it when it breaks down below those pre-market levels. So the long was okay, but it could not give me these successive pushes past that 525 mark. I'm back to shorting it below VWAP here in Torch.
Okay, so we did short CCL, 68s there, out 60s, buy back 63, 64. So a couple in and outs there on CCL. We'll wait to see. I still want that short. We're not short, but that was at 28.69 again, off of 28.65. Sorry, here off of our sticky note was today. There's the CCL. The only idea that we had 28.65 short. We'll see if it can hold that level. Looks like it's going to the downside right now. We did have 68 short there. Got out 60s. That was actually a mistake, and that's where we double billed long there. So now we'll wait to see here where it goes. I mean, we take the 8 cents on that play, but we want more than 8 cents, obviously. So we'll wait for that one. AMC is fading back in. Our Corsair is fine. And then our Palantir. So we're still going to give this one. Remember, we talked about this. So let's see if we can go. I'll give you a bigger chart here, 20-minute chart. So this is a big move down, right? We see the NASDAQ down now 0.4. My eye. A big move down. Palantir's obviously making this move with it. We talked about that. We have that 28.40, and then even lower than that, man, 24.40, and then 24.25. So this is going to be the spot where we're wrong down here, 24.25 on PLTR. So just watch out. The NASDAQ, like everything ticked high already, guys. Like we're already at the high of the day in a lot of these names. NASDAQ yesterday and S&P yesterday. So there are days where we have to give a little bit back, right? So Palantir now coming back. Our day is still fine. We're still up the money. It's still a great day. It's just this Palantir trade is coming back in just a little bit more than we would like right now. And by the way, there it goes again, man. AMC to the upside there. So let's see how far this one goes now. We still got this. It's still $3 in the money. We'll see how far it goes. But Palantir is really the one I need to worry about.
Yeah, we're going to adapt this one. So that ALF, thank you. We're not on Melmac here, but we are bouncing off VWAP. And I've done it every now and then. This is going to happen to me. Like, they should take away my degree from Waterloo. Because here's this bounce off of VWAP. I actually, I actually got out of this, and it reversed into an accidental long. So you're going to see me make a little bit here getting it out, and I actually made the spread instead of paid it. I do want back in, but the only way I'll jump in is either we break 575 or it pops back up and gives me an entry point off of this 640 level from before. So if I can catch like 625s or 620s, I'll go short in front of 640 again, or just wait for a 575 break Brendan.
Just saw QDN guys popping back up here on volume. We're at day lows, well, pretty much pre-market lows anyways. 222 after earnings. This thing had a decent day yesterday into earnings, but revenue missed for QD. We talked about it right at the end of the day yesterday. It's 10:30. That means there's 1 hour left in the session over in Europe. Miss V's watching what's going on over there. What's up, V?
Hey, Brandon, European markets are mostly positive. Infrastructure group at Atlantia trading in Italy is up more than 4%. On reports that it is considering €2 million shares buyback next year. Back to you.
ATL in Milan, a name we've talked about before, guys.
Okay, so new siren, new position alerts. You're gonna hear the siren go off. So we dip in. Reggie, you talked about Ford. Oh my God, we do have that. Okay, I need to zoom back out here. So there we go. So we talked about getting it into the 90s. Our order sits there and we wait for it now. And you know, the pre-market lows, like these lows that we made, 75, we're gonna have to wait for that. So I'm gonna put another bid in the middle here. I still expect this to go back up, and if it does, with this market fading back in, right now I think that this, what am I long at? 96. I mean, I don't know. I think a dime is pretty good, man. Like 1505. If we can get back up to 1505 in the middle of this area, I think that's a good one. I don't think we'll get to day's high again today, but we could. And if we do, that's great. But we'll take a dime here on Ford if it does go back to the upside right there. We did take some out on Palantir, a little bit there at 70, just to lick our wounds, because we are very, very cautious of what's happening now as the market does turn red. And then we talked about it being at all-time highs yesterday, so you got to very much watch out for some of these plays, guys. And I don't know why I keep going low. I don't know. I think I'm making some errors here on CCL. I don't mean to be long any of these names, so I'm going to get out. Oh, I know why. It's because my CCL and my Palantir is on the same chart. So every time I'm trying to buy more Palantir, it's actually CCL. Ah, that makes sense now. Okay, so let's get out there. But here's a good call, man. Hopefully you guys are still short this CCL. I've just been screwing it up because it's the same level as my Palantir, so that's why.
And speaking of CCL, RCL, which, I mean, usually for a day trade, I'm not going to favor this stock, but we talked about this one here, was basically trying to break that 50 period. They had the offering as well, so it broke that 87.40. Clearly, this would be a better short if I had faded into it. Like I said, I did not do that, guys. So we break that level. It goes to 87. I'll take some shares out because it's bouncing off the even. I'm probably going to now dip this down and then, you know, forget about offering 87.70. Maybe pop something in front of that previous opening range bottom, like 87.65. It was a bit of a fail break in that Corsair, so I got jiggled out there off the low of the day, and then it immediately bounces back. So you get failed out when you get that jiggle down. I'm going to get right back into position off of 35 even, so I kind of want to dig into that one a little bit more. But Torch, this is a different story. The short side of this trade, when it broke at 480, there won't be an average into this one. Like if this retakes 5 even, I'll just dump, get out of this position, wait for the high of the day, or maybe a retest down below this opening range at 466 here. Well, it's not really the entirety of the opening range, but this higher low that it put in at 465, 466. So Torch, I don't think it's worth digging into because it's on 64 million in volume and it's a $5 stock. You can always get back into this one a little bit later, but below that 480 is where I was starting every single one of these short positions. And if it can't hold 5, no harm, no foul. We'll get out of this one right here at 5 even. AMC is about to try to take that 64.50 on the way to 65. I mean, 65 would be a heck of a break. 69 was that level on the daily chart, but got to watch out for my Torch, the short. Gonna get out if it breaks 5 even.
Okay, guys, yeah, we're doing the same thing here. We're just cashing in on AMC and watching this go, man. $3 now in the money, taking out highs. So we switched over, man. We talked about diamond hands, and now we're trying to hold it. This is going to be back-to-back jacks. Like, this is the thing about diamond hands. So, like, I'll take out a $3 winner, like I did the last time, and then I'll just double the shares again. And now when I have another $3 winner, that's like $6, right? So that's the way that I look at it when I'm day trading, and I think, obviously, that's the way you guys need to look at it as well. When you keep on rinsing and repeating your shares back and forth, that's what happens. So it's not like I don't have diamond hands. It's just like we get out there in an attempt to reload, it doesn't happen. So then the only real money that we lose is this right here. So like we forego like 50 cents and then we just get right back in when we like it. And then there's the rip to the high side. So Neil and I long here AMC, and it just keeps on moving, man, to the high side. Like crazy. I don't know where to get out, and I don't want to anymore. So let's just keep on holding this, because every single time you take a shot, it doesn't seem to want to retrace as far as we thought. Okay, there's another one, man. So hit the chicken dinner winners. If you want to take it, you can. Ford, we still are waiting for this. There it is, man. It's 5 cents. And again, you take 1,000 shares, it's $50. Maybe that's lunch money. Who knows? But there's a nice little win for you. Upside on Ford. I'm going to wait for a little higher. So if you're following exactly the way I'm trading, that's that. And I guess there's the pullback pullback on AMC, man. It goes all the way to 64.50 and right back down to 63. But we are just rocking today, guys. Lots of winners. And for that, we say, oh, Canada. Because last night, unfortunately, the Montreal Canadiens got dealt with by the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
And it's one of those things where you kind of hope the team that knocks you out does pretty well there. But best of fortune, of course, to every team that's still left out there. I'm not a hater, but would have been nice to see the Montreal Canadiens go a little bit further, despite the fact that we're all Leafs fans here. Now, the fail break here happens at like 64.50, which is crazy. You actually got a price better than that. That's how crazy the dark pools are at these levels, guys. The spread is opening up big on these price levels. Now, AMC held before at 62.50, so I want to dip in front of that and then try and scalp in front of this double top that it's putting in here, guys. ALF to get me a re-entry, so you're going to see me back into position here. I was a bit patient with it. I accidentally got all of it long, all of it out into a reversal of the long accidentally. I am going to wait to see if it holds this 640 level. If it breaks that, then I would retest that halt from before. Got to take profit in front of VWAP on the stock, given what's happened every single time it's gotten down towards that 575 level. So this is a new position in ALF. It's not necessarily that halt trade, but it's playing off of that lower high in the previous halt price there, guys. I did get some of that RCL out, guys. And Torch, this stock is unbelievable. It's like, really? It's going to go again? I mean, now it's above that 505 one more time here. It's trying to make a push. So AMC and Torch not off the high of the day, but they're both meme names. I just feel like I'll go either direction in Torch. AMC's basically only been to the long side, but I'm kind of flipping. I'm willing to go in both directions on Torch. It was all shorts until about 10 o'clock. Now I'm going back to the long trade above 5.
So we're licking our wounds, man. We're still going to be up on Palantir a lot, but we are starting to get out a little bit here. This is why you put on your biggest shares at these prices, right? Because then your average price, I think my average price was what, 87 or something? I mean, now it's 84, but we've been getting out. So I think our average price was 87, 88 on this one. So as we go back to the upside, I mean, we could get out right now, be positive, and be near the top of the day for us here today. So I don't know. We'll just keep on trading, but it's been a monster day. Oh, just to let you guys know, we did get out of some Ford there at 01s. It just looks like it's stalling. So again, thanks to Reggie Reg there on that for this chicken dinner winner. We got you, Randy. So there's a nice little win there for Ford. Let's wait to see where it goes, though, man. Actually, that was a 5-cent winner, so we'll wait on that one. And then Palantir, I mean, again, I'm just going to keep taking some out every time we pump up higher just to make sure that we do keep most of this profit in our pocket as Palantir, nasty, nasty fall. I think now we'll wait, man. Now we'll wait and get this out at hopefully 25 even. But Monster Day continues over here. I hope you guys are having a good time. With that being said, it's Sector Watch. I love this board. Let's go, Brendo.
Hey guys, yeah, let's have a look at the S&P 500. A bit of a mixed story overall, really. 0.23 to the downside currently, but off the lows, which is good to see. Energy stocks and the banking group front and center here in the middle. You can see offsetting weakness in pretty much everything else right across the entire market right now, including material stocks. Among the leaders, we mentioned FCX now 7% to the downside for Freeport. ALB right beside it there, 2.5%. Far side there, 4.5%. ARE, a little REIT on some negativity this morning to the downside. Fastenal, negative. FAST, everything else, though, pretty much in the industrial group having a decent day. Some up, some down, but nothing terribly significant. Big retail number at 8:30. If you joined us early on this morning, the retailers not really doing much. Some of them negative here. L Brands, Gap, and Home Depot, about 1.5%. All three of them to the downside. Etsy here as well, 1.5 to the downside. There are a few here that are positive, but nothing significant. Booking.com, 1% higher. Penn and CMG, though, offsetting that and then some to the downside as well. So a bit of a mixed story in the tech group. I mentioned right out of the gate some chip makers were strong. Ends up being only Micron, 2.2%, ENPH, 2% to the downside. Everything else in here basically flat now on the session. So outside of, as I mentioned, the banks and the energy group here providing some strength, helping to offset the rest, we're still only 0.2, guys, for the S&P to the downside.
I mean, the market's basically flat, but it's been all to the downside for the overall market. And you're seeing some stocks that are obviously running up here, and AMC is going to be one of them, some of the meme names as well. Just noting, this is continuing to look a little bit strong on ALF. It's holding this VWAP pretty nicely still. And then when we got that re-entry at 25, it's not even breaking 6 even. So I got a bid down here at 6. I got another bid in front of VWAP. This might take that 640 area. And if it does, I just want to walk away from this one and then look towards that high of the day. I mean, the real trade was off, in the best opportunities off that halt trade. This is not the post halt to the upside, enter into the short position here. This is more that rollover short off of a lower high. That's the idea that I'm going with this particular trade. I do like those post halt trades on these types of stock a heck of a lot more. And AMC, just to show you guys here one more time. I mean, not that we've talked about this one enough here. It did get to 62.20 the first time. We tried to take out that 62.50 or 63 area and down here. And the rest of this range is basically 62.50 into this 64.50. If this breaks at 62.5, I think this is when we're getting down to 61 even. And I want to make sure that I'm taking some shares off here so that I can load up at that 61, that VWAP. It does look like the better price. Torch is trying to bounce off that 5 one more time, so I'm trying that long again. And then Corsair is holding the low of the day. The other one I wanted to get to, we kind of ignore. It's not that I'm not ignoring Neo. We're not ignoring NIO here, but it just bounced off of 45 even on NIO, and it's been a tremendous run. This is not even denting it too much here. But if you look at on this move from the bottom at 30, obviously it's a 50% move to 45, and it turned at 45 the first time. So this is a key level here. This 45, it's a previous high. And if you roll over through 45, I mean, there's a bit of a cluster that could take this down like $1.50 to $2. So NIO treading on some, I guess, key levels. If it breaks 45, you could see this one flush a little bit here. So Neo, things not looking as good. Here comes that 62.50 on AMC. See if we can't buy a little more in front of that little dip. But NIO, watch out 45, guys.
All right, there it is, guys. Look at that on Ford. I mean, that's why we hit that idea generator there. Good one. And the Valley Girls say, of course, one of your other favorites there, when I put on a trade, they go,
oh my God.
So there it is, man. I mean, I don't know how we do it, but there goes Ford right back to the upside, 1504. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. We sit there in the weeds, guys, and then we just go, boom, and hit that trade. A nice little trade there on Ford, man. I mean, we're doing everything perfectly today, except we're going to have one loser on board, and it's going to be Corsair. So we do have Corsair on board. This is going to be a loser, but I mean, we could still make money on the backside, but we're going to wait to see if it breaks through 35. So this one, we did buy that 37.50, took the dollar hit, took it. We're still in it. We're going to wait for that bottom, but hey, I mean, I could have one negative stock, right? Yesterday we were 6 for 6. Today it looks like we're going to be 5 for 6 there, and it's going to be Corsair. But here comes AMC, man. This is why, like, I don't take. Remember what I was telling you guys about, like, buying and holding and waiting for certain levels? Like this one, I just should have got out, I guess, obviously, on that break. But yeah, now it's coming all the way to the back to the downside. But you don't lose on the trade, right? So I just sit here, wait. Now if I can buy some dips here in AMC, I am still waiting for some low opportunities. I don't know if this is low enough yet to buy this dip, but we'll wait to see. It just comes to 62. We can get back into this area, 61, 60, 50, where we are actually long. But sometimes, guys, when you have the diamond hands, you do have to go through some of these. You're not always going to hit the bullseye on this trade. But hey, AMC still positive, still my #1 stock. So let's see where we go from here. I don't love it, though, guys.
I see Marlon in the house here, guys. Marlon, I hope you're good to see you back in the chat there. I actually just got wicked out. This is kind of garbage wick here. I thought I had my stop at this 62.25 mark right in front that we took more shares in front. Did not. So when it missed, I had to pay an extra 20 cents down. And then I was sitting there on the bid in front of VWAP to reload. And might have just cost myself a re-entry into that AMC trade there. It is what it is. It's going to happen to you from time to time here. I am watching, and I just mentioned Neo. It is getting right back down towards that 45 low. So it's trying to put it a lower high. Look, I'm going to like a break at 45 if it tries to go here, but with the market possibly, I mean, that 1400 on the NASDAQ, is looming, and then the ES getting towards the 4230 cluster. It's not all about the futures here, but if you can hold this low, and there's any kind of a bid, and I've seen this in Neo before, where you can maybe catch, and of course it's not going to be on NIO, where you can maybe cash like a monster bid at a round level. It can be worth that long at 1, 2, 3 in front of 45. If I see a bid on NIO, you might see me pop into a long at 45.03 or 04, and then reverse into a short off of that level. Brenda, what's up, bud?
I apologize, I missed who it was, but somebody was mentioning this ALT, up 2% here. had a nice move off the open, came all the way back. They announced a share buyback this morning, so $1 million, I believe, on the share buyback, but volume pretty terrible on this. It's really gone to sleep already, back to 14.5 for alt.
Go to sleep, alt. Okay, Ford, good out there. We already talked about that one. CRSR, we've talked about that, and we're just waiting for that to go. And then my AMC, man, we're still trying to hold out on this one. We don't have any stops, so, I mean, my stop was 56, so we'll just have to wait now to see if it can get back to the upside here on this name. But still, my number one stock today will still remain to be AMC, as it just keeps on going up. I don't really have, like I said, I don't have any more targets. I think we'll go long if it comes up, back up again to 64.50 now. We'll go long if it does get up there. But hey, if it gets up there, then that's another $4 winner for us. So back-to-back jacks today. It's been a monster day. Let's just keep this fun going as DraftKings goes back upside. Sorry, Ford goes back upside. Palantir just still struggling, but that's why we get some out there. This is going to be a positive stock for us. So we'll, unless it absolutely tanks. But now you have the NASDAQ starting to go back up. So I am expecting a little bit of movement here on Palantir to the way that we're expecting. Upside right now, back to 82 would be nice. Targets like mid-90s on PLTR, guys. What a big show this has been, man. We're going to finish the day near the high, not the absolute high because of this trade, AMC there, but let's wait to see where it goes now. We're trying to have those diamonds, guys, waiting in the weeds for better prices.
And this ALF just continues to try to test lower and lower. Like it just bounced off VWAP. Well, it bounced off VWAP. Now I'm going to get more shares out again because the strength it has had. I'll take some out at 6 even, like I mentioned. I have another bid here in front of that 575. The way I've decided to approach this is just short more if it breaks that 575 level. So I can take profit out in front with the intention of getting back in. Of course, I have to adjust my 640 stop. I'm still going to get out if it breaks that 640 level on ALF. This one is looking like it has another potential gear in it. That's why I'm going to tread relatively lightly. AMC, like I said, I got that bad wick. Well, not that bad wick. I got that bad trigger when I messed my stop up. I paid an extra 40 cents here. But I am still sort of sitting here looking for that dip buy. Now, I want to have that little rubber band effect. Like if it bounces off VWAP, I want to be able to catch this one for a quick little bit of $1. But I also look back to this pullback. That one at 60, because remember that battle that happened off the open at 60 bucks? I still feel like that's going to be that ultimate level. Any kind of dip, you got to think about that 60 buying back in front of. It just seems like it's the gangbusters price there. So we'll still go with that one. RCL has been, I don't know, like it was a decent trade from 87.40 to 84, but it's a bit of a disappointment. The volatility just isn't really there. You're thinking it's going to break that 50 period. Failed at $100 here, like double top off of $100, break back and below, get that negative action, but there's just no follow through on RCL. So I don't know if that's the entire space. Maybe we're just sleeping overall in some of these. I don't know what CCL is doing, but we could be actually sleeping in the in that. What space am I talking about here? I'm talking about the cruise ships. Torch still holding VWAP. So I'm back into the long after it bounced off of VWAP here. I only want to short it below. Above this price, I still think it has a chance to break to that top. I don't want to get up too early this one, so we're hanging on to a 5 long in front of that 480 level. It's doing basically nothing but barcoding. Barcoding can be good if it's going to consolidate and break up, but you don't want to give this one too much room. Below that 470, remember, we're shorting into like 430. It could go down like 10% very, very quickly here as we round up towards the end of the show. If I have to make a prediction, at the close show today, I'm going to round out and say, just by a guess, there's a decent chance there will be some AMC trading, but you do not want to sleep on some of these other names that are moving. I think we'll be looking a little bit at BlackBerry. I know BlackBerry was moving as well, guys. I was looking today at Torch and AMC. They were the front of my list. Obviously, you can see here by the trading. And then I always look for those halt trades as they emerge. ALF just happened to be that one. I'm always hunting that halt page. I want to look for those reentries. It's been one of my higher percentage plays for the last few months here, in addition to some of those meme stocks. But as I mentioned that, and this is like completely coincidence, 150,000 share offer just showed up at 605. This is not the reason I'm short, but it certainly doesn't hurt that there's a seller here, 115 cents in the money. Hopefully it gets it through that 575 where I want to add to my position, take off some in front, but I want to be adding to my position if it breaks that 575. And then I think you can get that real flush to 450.
Okay, Palantir goes up to 80.81 there. Good out for us on Palantir. We'll wait for that just a little bit more. Crypto's not doing too much, so I don't have too much to report on that one. There was I forget. There was a name I want to talk about. Honestly, I'm not even doing this for a joke. I just can't remember what it was. AMC, obviously, we've been talking about that one to death. Neo's down to that 45.50. And I did want to give a big shout out to some of the regulars. I know Neil shouted out Marlon. What's up to Brian as well? What's up to Steve, Rolling Records? Thank you guys for always coming back. Daryl, you're the man as well. Oh, Pro Day Trader there. Joanna Hayes as well. Thank you to all our members. Brian, you guys always contribute every single day. Michael Davis, thank you so much, guys, for watching us. We only have 10 minutes to go, but this is going to be a big one here, guys. Welcome to everybody back here with Trader TV Live, and thank you for joining us day after day, man. The winners just keep on happening, and I hope we're giving them to you too, man. Every stock we've been trading, well, I've been trading today, has turned into cash, so hopefully that one gives everyone a little bit of money. All right, and we'll just keep on going with that thought. Over at the big screen now, Money Talks. I noticed the CAD though, Brendan. That's a good thing.
Hey guys, yeah, currency time. Overall, yes, a little bit of US dollar strength coming back into play today. Throw up the DXY, the dollar index here. Once again, you can see we did break that recent high on the daily chart. We've come back in since, but yeah, Canadian dollar down 0.3%. Even with that inflation number that was again today higher than expected in the U.S. for the producer side of things. We did get a spike, actually both directions for the U.S. dollar. Euro is dead flat as we talk about it right now. The pound higher a little bit, 0.2 to the upside, 80, I should say. This is the pound. This is the euro pound. 140 is what I meant to say for the British pound, down 0.2%. Australian dollar, 0.4. New Zealand, exactly the same. Crypto's pretty flat, as Sean was saying. Look at that. We are holding barely onto 40,000 right now for BTC, guys.
It finally happened. I guess it just took Brendan there. I should have hit the GOAT one. I should have been ready for that one because you go from Brendan usually. Yay. I don't know what it is, but he opens his mouth and then a move actually happens. And Alf, he gave this one. I was monitoring the whole page, but I think before that even happened, Brendan was talking about Alf, and you guys were mentioning as well. I did say that I would take profit in front of VWAP, which we did, and then just get back into position if it took out 575. So I shorted that one. I got 69s here, and then immediately out when it broke that whole price and bounced to 550, so quick scalp. And now this is my bid. I want to see if we can get the bigger move. I got out of halt plays too early yesterday. I guess we opened halt plays. I want to hang on to this one. I've shorted it now 1, 2, 3 separate times, looking for that ultimate retracement. And Torch just got up to like 510. I took some out. I want that retesting the high of the day before I take some more shares out of that one. Might be one that has that afternoon type of break here in Torch. Just in case. I mean, when you hold a level like this, like a 470 or around VWAP, and then you look to take out a 535 potentially in the afternoon, as long as it stays above 465, this could be like one of those 130, 230, maybe even power hour breaks at 535. My guess is it's resolved itself before 315, so watch it over lunchtime.
I'm just giving a great trade to Greenwich here. He just showed it up on Twitter there. Looks like he's been smoking Palantir as well with us there. Big trade, it looks like, for you on Palantir. So nicely done there, Greenwich Maritime there. Congratulations. And look, I'm just like, not only, of course, I'm over the moon with my own trading, but I'm also over it with you guys as well. Like, I'm just so happy that we're able to give you as many trades as we can every single day and then just enjoy it here with us. Like, this is fun for me. Like, every single day coming into work is so fun. And I mean, I just love trading. And then when you have these kind of results, honestly, it's above and beyond. So thank you so much. Keep tweeting those all at me. I will retweet you guys. Send it to me, man. We have 21,000 followers. I want to grow this family, so let's keep it going bigger and badder for everybody, man. We're here. We're the Trader TV Live team, and we're here for you every single day. Like, unless I'm sick, that's the only time I'm missing. They're forcing me to take vacations. There was actually a discussion about that I actually should be taking them. So we're going to do that a little bit more, although I don't want to, but sometimes our hands are tied here, and vacations are okay, but we do miss trading when I'm off anyways. I think we all do. But there goes AMC, man. Good trades, no outs here. You don't see any shorts. You don't see anything here. All buys, buy. We're going to take this one to the moon, man. We are almost at our highest spot all day. Let's just keep this party going.
I will guiltily say that I used to be that way, where I would, I didn't take a single vacation until 10 years into my trading career. That wasn't for someone else's wedding, like a destination wedding kind of thing. But now, ever since my daughter's born, man, I can't lie. I don't even miss the markets because I spend all the time with her. There is a short that just came back in here in DraftKings. There were two levels we talked about. One of them was this, and right before we get out of here, was this 48.30 area. So you're going to see my short, 48.25, and that is after it turned right around this price level. So it consolidates here, tries to test above, couple of times breaks at 48.50. When it gets back below, I sort of short it on the way down instead of on the way up. I like doing that. Look, at this particular time of day, and this is what happened here, the same thing at 47. I wait for it to test up, short it on the way down, not on the way up. This was a decent trade in the VWAP, then got stopped out. The big one, of course, was in the morning. Now I'm looking for that same sort of retracement idea. If it breaks 48, I would take some profit down into these clusters and then down into VWAP. But if it makes a fresh high, now, not pre-market levels, because guys, I mean, the gap down here, you're probably talking about the recent high at 48.65. So a little bit less room that I'm willing to give it here on DraftKings, given how far it's already pressed back in. And we do have a couple of earnings here. One of them I actually care about. Brendo?
There are indeed a couple of notable earnings names, guys. We had the retail number this morning. So let's have a look, quick look here, guys, for earnings tonight and after market tomorrow, or before the market, I should say, tomorrow.
So I've been a big buyer of IBM, and that's at all-time highs, or 52-week highs, continues to go up. So I think Oracle, old school technology as well, could make some runs there. So we are going to watch out for icons, guys. Yeah, sterling silver, that's for damn sure. Just check out my Twitter handle. I mean, I'm proud to be, the father that I am. So. That's for damn sure. So you can check out my Twitter handle. Thank you so much for all the love also on Twitter for that. And I agree. I mean, I'm trying to take vacations as well. It's just that, when you're running hot and someone said they haven't taken a loss in a month. Yeah. I know the feeling, guys. So there it is, man. That, we're just keep on hitting the market when it's hot. But yeah, Oracle, everything's going to be good, man. Only 3 minutes left. Palantir does dip down. Not low enough to get us longer down there. We should have, obviously, on this move back to the upside right now. But that's going to keep going. We're long at 80, so that's okay. We'll see where that goes. Wish. Oh, was it Swamp Donkey? Someone wanted to shout out if it was you, Swamp Donkey. What's up? So Swamp Donkey it on for that as well. And then here comes Corsair, man. I don't know. I think Neil's in this still. We're waiting for this 35 to break. So if that doesn't break, we'll hold this one, and then we'll see what happens at the close. But I'm going to try to see if this can get back to 37.50 now. Corsair, but we're only long 35.76. So we're long out a dime right now, but we did take that dollar hit. So we're just back in it. So hopefully we can at least make back half here on Corsair. That was basically the only one that we've lost on.
Yeah,
and
Corsair stunk, but
we're going to finish the show at almost at our highest spot.
Corsair's kind of that thing where, remember Wendy's had that 25 level and you're just sort of playing off of that because you think on a higher time frame and it's a more solid company that jumped into meme space. So that's the idea there. I shouldn't have gotten out the first time. I shouldn't have got in so early and then given myself more room. Now we're back in off that low. I think Oracle, you look at the move that it's had and it's hard going into earnings here, given the Fed and given the timing of timing of this earnings release is going to happen off of this top. It's hard not to think about taking some profit here. I think if you haven't had anything out on the way up in a stock like this, not a horrible idea to trim, because if you do have that idea where no matter what happens, you're going to get sold off here, you could be looking back at 76 to 78 in a bit of a hurry here on something like an Oracle. And even then, it's not crazy to start thinking about that 75, which looks pretty good. That would be a nice little area to be able to dip by. Does it give it to you? I have no idea. But Ms. V is going to give you something tasty for the National Day, as she always does.
Yes, I do, guys. Well, thank you very much for spending this morning with us. We love you very much. Thank you for all the support. Stay safe and profitable, guys. Come join us back at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Time, and happy National Fudge Day, everyone.
Yeah, nice little fudge. Yeah, we are loving fudge. I don't have the super sweet tooth, so I can't say that I love fudge, but obviously very, very tasty. My kids crush everything chocolate.
Yeah, I got a sweet tooth. I'm actually, it's interesting. I have basically no discipline when it comes to treats. If they're there, I'm going to have them. So if fudge is around, that's just one of those things that I can't stop myself. So we don't even keep it in the house. You want fudge, you go out and you get it and you eat it because it's entirely too tasty. Brendan, you got to be on this one. You got to be.
No, pass. I swear, I'm having this deja vu, guys. I swear we just had a fudge day.
I feel like we did.
It was a special type of fudge.
I don't know.
I feel like we did. So hopefully, this was me yesterday for an hour and a half. here watching, and then today it's gymnastics. So we're just glad to be back. I'm glad to have the kids back chilling out there yesterday. You don't see the Tim Hortons cup here, but it was here. So sitting down watching this, thank you so much for all the love. Over 100 likes. And then this was my most liked one here on Twitter, 426. We finally got out to Crooked Q. So if anybody from Crooked Q in Oakville, in Etobicoke is watching, shout outs to there. Yeah, lots of stuff happening here now on Twitter. So we'll watch out for that. And thank you again for joining us, guys. It's 11 o'clock. Time to wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah, if you type in
AMC, baby.
Ricky there, I did not say that Oracle was a short. I did say if you're in the long, which I am, it's not a bad place to take some profit going in earnings. Some of these tech names are getting sold no matter what happens with that release. But it is 11. Stick around. Obviously, we're going to be right back when we come at 3:15. So don't go too far away. And then, of course, you're going to get a trade of the day at the end of the day as well, which you know is going to be AMC. For the entire team, Ms. V still working as we're about to wrap it up. That's what she does. For Brendan Wickens, who doesn't like fudge, myself, Neil Roberts, and Sean Katina. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you at the close. Bye, guys.